Me regularly. Uses the same 3 things at home. Me packing for vacation. I wonder if I'll need 4 French horns or 5. Look, I overpacked a high hell, but I can't think of an instance where I would need French horns. Unless there were balconies where I was going and there were people under the balconies that I wished to annoy. Me. Good night, honey. Wife. Good night. Evil bullfrog that lives under our bed. Angry ribbit ribbit. Both of us in unison. Good night, evil bullfrog. Happy ribbit ribbit. Remember that phase of grade school where it was pretty common for kids to just randomly throw up in the middle of class? Why was that a thing? You know, if you ate the school lunches, I think now would be the appropriate time to file a lawsuit before the statute of limitations expires. Me tries to resize an image. Microsoft Word. Okay. Deletes all vowels. Pastes the Aldi employee handbook. Starts 3D printing a haunted amulet. What version of Microsoft Word are y'all using? I have never had this problem. Unless some of you are foolish enough to try to move an image without fixing the text wrapping settings. Yeah, that'll do it. Imagine a swarm of 8-year-olds, all wearing Minecraft. Yeah, that says wearing Minecraft. Angry Birds and Minion t-shirts. There we go. Running up to you and viciously beating the living crap out of you while chanting YouTuber intros. This is really specific. Are you okay? Imagine if, instead of K-pop, it was R-pop, and it's from Russia, and you had girls all over Twitter being like, stream that, and posting pictures like this, and being like, oh my god, the bitch looks so cute. Yeah, it doesn't work. I'm sorry. Office jobs are so funny because you'll be 24 and your greatest enemy in the world is a 55-year-old woman named Bushra from finance. Why does this meme look slightly crooked even though it's not? I got out a straight edge on my, I checked. It is straight, but it looks crooked. You live in Buffalo. You work a blue-collar job. You save up all year to see your team in the playoffs. You brave the freezing temperatures and get this crap. It's a cold and lonely walk back to your 2005 Ford Taurus. Time to go home and heat up a microwave dinner with a Coors. You've got work tomorrow. This is an entire life. This reminds me of the Twitter short stories where you had to do an entire story at 140 characters, and I kind of love it. There are 2 kinds of people. The ones that pack 6 days before a trip, and the ones that wake up day of and realize they need to do a load of laundry. And they marry each other. Oh, God. Oh, that's true. My wife packs the day before. 2 days before, if you know it's a big trip. I pack the night of, stay up all night, and fall asleep when we get there. Yeah. Meeting her family for the first time, and her grandmother goes deathly pale and shouts the name of a monster from her country's folklore when she sees you. If I'm ever a grandparent, I'm doing this. I need the name of a Hungarian folklore monster. This is definitely the most bizarre question I have ever seen on a job application. You've been given an elephant. You can't give it away or sell it. What would you do with the elephant? Your answer. This is a required question. On one hand, what the actual hell? On the other, it shows a decent amount of what the person's character would be. Picture this. You're 31. You just married your soulmate and are on your way to your beautiful honeymoon. The plane lands in Bora Bora. As it touches the ground, your wife begins clapping. She's an airplane clapper. You get on a plane right back to America and you never speak again. Hey, you gotta know what you want in a relationship, and sometimes what you don't want is an airplane clapper. Imagine a spider crawled in your suit case. I'm not sure, but do I have a case of suits? Do I have a suit made of cases? While you were packing and you went on holiday and then it crawled out into this weird country it's never seen before. Do you reckon it would miss its family or just get along with the locals and start a new life as a bartender on the beach? I don't like spiders, but the idea of a tiny spider behind a tiny tiki bar on a beach makes me happy. I'd like a Purge movie where they deal with the awkwardness of the next day. You turn up at work and everyone is asking where Bob from sales is. Then you admit you killed him during the Purge. And everybody looks at you like, Bob was such a nice guy. Like, what did you have against Bob? And like, nobody knows Bob has been harassing you for like 4 years straight. I'm not like the other girls, she winks. Neither am I giggle. Both of us remove our trench coats, revealing 4 raccoons stacked under each. No, not again, the waiter cries, grabbing a broom. All 8 of us snatch as many breadsticks as our tiny arms will hold, bungling out the back door on our hind legs, chittering into the night. This is glorious. When you're in a normal convo and they bring up a weird niche interest you've obsessed with, and you have to pretend that you only like it a normal amount and not a psychotic amount. No. If they don't hyper obsess with something the same way I hyper obsess with something, we're not having a normal convo. Like, this is not one of my friends. I may not be the one you marry, but I'll be the one you'll be thinking about 20 years from now, while you are listening to oldies and holding a drink that tastes like regret, as you look over at the ugly lump of frack you are stuck with. That is confident and oddly aggressive. I almost like it. Matcha is literally the cutest shade of green ever. Such a shame it tastes like that. Agreed. Oh my god, that crap tastes like... I can't say that. I'm not saying that. One day I'm gonna write a book about a recipe blogger that confesses to murder in every single recipe on their website, but they never get caught because no one reads the 12 pages of text before the recipe. That is glorious. Does anyone else feel like they are a lazy perfectionist with ADHD and chronic fatigue who is pretty chill besides the occasional panic attack and loves their friends but hates people? About half of that, yes. Fanfic authors are insane. They'll write about your whole world crumbling in pain, despair, lost love, and darkness, and then you see notes. Hey, Lamau, I had pancakes this morning while writing this, and my cat walked into flour. It was funny. Hit me up on Twitter. Peace. Publisher. So you've given us a book about a big friendly giant, one about an enormous crocodile, and another where a granny takes a magic medicine and grows as big as a house. What's new? Roald Dahl, I can't pronounce that name. So there's this peach. Publisher, is it Roald Dahl? It's fracking huge! Pill that makes you experience when your blankets are so warm, but you have to grab something that's just out of reach and ruin your comfort, and you know you won't be able to get it back. I swear I just read this. I hate it. A president makes a new law that anyone shorter than him gets executed, but he accidentally makes it an amendment to the Constitution, so it applies to future presidents too. So in the next election, there's a frenzy of people voting for the shortest president so they don't die. And this is how they end up electing a 3-foot-tall man named Pinwheel Patrick, who goes on to become the most tyrannical dictator the world has ever seen. When you came up with this, were you under the influence of any non-food or drink things? Although I do have to say, I absolutely love this subreddit's creativity. Like, it's just entire novels in single paragraphs, and it's so refreshing and wonderful. Awesome how it takes weeks to get used to waking up early, and then you can just piss it all away in one night by watching YouTube gnome sightings in South America until 3 a.m. Yeah, I work night shift. The world does not care about night shift. My entire sleep schedule can be ruined because, I don't know, a delivery company that was supposed to come at 8 a.m. came at like 7 p.m. Or a doctor appointment gets moved to late afternoon, early evening. It's lovely. I hate when you're leaving your place and you're like, hey, turn off the light to save energy. And some is like, well, you know, most of your power bill is from your AC. Thanks, Brett. I do, that's not the point. And you're only here because our girlfriends are friends. Brett, shut up. Absolutely no drinks on the pool table ever. Never ever, not even once. Never ever ever. No food or drink. This doesn't seem oddly specific. This is at a bar, I'm sure, with a pool table and people were putting drinks on the pool. Don't put the drinks on the freaking pool table. Who the hell does that? Your friend puts laxatives in your drink while you aren't looking. And as a result, you end up pooping yourself in public. How do you get revenge? This is oddly specific, but this is also kind of par the course for Ask Reddit. So, half a point. The evangelical girls in my class who weren't allowed to read Harry Potter because it had witchcraft now think they can cure measles with essential oils. Who is in potions class now, Gracelyn? I went to one of those schools. I still read Harry Potter, but I went to one of those schools. And I guarantee you a decent number of my classmates are trying to hoard essential oils and crystals. About me, I really prefer a girl that would cheat on you within the first 3 months of the relationship. Not these spawns of Satan that waste 5 years of your time, and after you introduce them to everyone you know and family and your ancestors, then go and cheat on you. Okay, hang on. Do you need therapy? I don't think you should be looking for another date yet. All right. Then, when you break up, you gotta go sacrifice a goat at the grave of your great-grandfathers to apologize for introducing them to a gardening tool. Wow. One, I'm very sorry. Two, I don't think you should put that in your Tinder bio. I think you should maybe deactivate or turn off your profiles. I have never been on Tinder. But maybe just take a break from it for a little bit. Helpful grammar tip. Farther is for physical distance. Further is for metaphorical distance. And father is for emotional distance. Who hurt you? My father. Did you not read the post? When you expose the gender trap and tell them every celebrity is born the opposite gender and transitioned as sacrifice to gain fame, money, and power, and then created the LGBT community to continue blood, physical, surgical sacrifices. But y'all ain't ready for this convo yet. It's true. I am the gender. Okay, can we agree that the worst feeling is when you're just sitting around, consciously procrastinating, and you're just overly aware that each second that passes is more time wasted, and you watch hours pass and you're still procrastinating and you can't stop, and your panicked brain is trapped inside a body that refuses to be productive, and inside you're screaming, but outwardly you're just eating chips. 2 tips for overcoming this. 1, go outside. Just stick your head. You don't have to go for a walk or anything. Just stick your head outside. 2, do something genuinely fun. Stop trying to do the thing that you need to do. If every part of you needs to run towards a thing and do this thing, but you really don't want to, go do something else as much as possible. Just violently do another thing and come back here. Don't let yourself come back for an hour. This is coming from someone who has ADHD and has had to do a lot of coping mechanisms before I finally got medication because my parents thought ADHD was a fad. Yeah, that was fun. You wake up on Kim Jong-un's body. What? You can speak and understand Korean without getting assassinated by your commanders. How do you transition North Korea and its people from an Orwellian state of despair to a prosperous nation so you can then ride your fame to launch your career in music? What the? Okay, this is outside of the r/ask Reddit. Okay, all right. I don't know. I don't know. My family's mantras. We are kind. We are loud. We all agree for the greater good that if one of us is drowning in water deeper than Dad can stand in, we must drown because Dad can't swim, and there's no point in the rest of them not having a dad anymore. 4, Mom is right. I hate to admit this, but our feelings on certain things really do change as we get older. 10 years ago, I would have preferred to get a new video game instead of an engagement ring. But now that I'm older, I would prefer to get a domesticated raccoon instead of an engagement ring. I like it. Never grow up. You're gonna crap your pants and kill your roommate when you see what these child stars look like now. Are the pictures haunted? Reductress, have you hexed the pictures? Wife, why are you putting garlic in your pants? Me, so Dracula won't try to eat my butt. Wife, why would Dracula try to eat your butt? Me, he won't. The garlic. Are you even listening? I don't understand the dynamics of this relationship, but somehow I wholeheartedly approve. How do I tell my boyfriend that I want him to scream at me in bed like he's Gordon Ramsay and I am a little chef who just ruined a creme brulee? I guess start by watching an episode of the show and say that's kind of hot and see if he's interested. Good luck. Have fun, I guess. Killing 31,646 people would save the same amount of oxygen as planting 20 million trees. I worry about you sometimes, Candace. Me, says the wrong name during Snegs. My girlfriend, who in the frack is Imperator Caesar Nerva Tyrannus Divi Nerva Filius Augustus. I butchered all of that. I really don't care, but you get the point. I'm going to sell ketchup that flows more than 14 centimeters in 30 seconds at 20 degrees Celsius when tested in a Bostic consistometer. Code of Federal Regulations, Title 21, subsection 155.194, Bravo 1. What did I just read? When you, a 6'10" dark soul who's destroyed countless opponents and risen from the dead multiple times via evil powers, but you grandma's boy and she loves you. Oh, I love this image so much. I don't care if Will Smith, stripped down to his drawers, crawled on the floor, sniffing people's shoes while howling like a coyote. I would not watch the Oscars or support any other Holly Weird ceremony where the wealthy, disconnected, immoral elite gather to award themselves. Okay, then it's not for you. That was a very specific image. I have concerns about your very specific images, but I'm sure the Oscars will dearly miss the one view you provided. Booty shorts with 2 QR codes on the butt that lead to a PDF of the Communist Manifesto and a page where you can stream Scooby-Doo. Yeah, that is suspiciously specific. Why are math teachers never sick and English teachers are always pregnant? No, wait, they have a point. Picture this, we go on a date for a few drinks. We're both tipsy and it's 1:30 a.m. So we decide to get authentic Mexican food. Once we finish the $13.76 worth of Taco Bell. About to say, where are you getting authentic Mexican at 1:30 in the morning? Unless it's like a truck. We head back to my car. It's on fire! You turn and signal me to call 911, but I'm standing behind you with marshmallows and sticks. You blush, and we cuddle together while my blazing car keeps us warm. We joke, we laugh. You lean in for a kiss. I chloroform you and rob you. It wasn't even my car on fire. Lexi.exe has stopped working. Please close the program and try again. Dang, I want to wear this with a secret earpiece in my earrings, with a voice instructing me to assassinate someone important while I sip champagne in a dinner party and beat every man out there in a debate. We just need Agent 47, but trans. We need a trans Agent 47. I'm all for this. Agent 74. Bam, done. Snags is cool, but have you ever made a joke at a dinner party that bombed and you felt bad, but then the host of the party pulled you aside later and said, it wasn't your fault the joke bombed, it's just that Kate's brother died in a skiing accident, so skiing jokes are off bounds. That doesn't sound like the same level as the initial thing you proposed. So, I'm not really sure how the two are related. I'm very sorry the joke bombed. You ever smell the air and it smells like the 4th grade Scholastic Book Fair? Yes, on a chilly Tuesday in October in 2007. Yes, there's a specific smell for that. Oh my God. If you know, you know. I can't explain it. I'm sorry. Dogs are welcome in this hotel. We never had a dog that smoked in bed and set fire to the blankets. We never had a dog that stole our towels and played the TV too loud or had a noisy fight with his traveling companion. We never had a dog that got drunk and broke up the furniture. So if your dog can vouch for you, you're welcome too. I absolutely love that policy. Does anyone else look in the fridge for a snack and only to find that you have no snack-worthy snacks? So then you lower your snack expectations and eat a single slice of cheese and a random grape? All of the time. Today's VO recording snacks are 0 sugar cherry 7-Up, dry honey bunches of oats, pretzel sticks, and the random chewy granola bar. I always start recording with like a giant pile of snacks. They're about half gone by now. Check your kids' Halloween candy carefully. Someone tried to hide the SS Edmund Fitzgerald, pride of the Great Lakes Fleet. So stupid. It's so funny. Oh my God, it was so dumb. Oh, I love it. Bands are always like Big Things Brewing, and it's always just like songs or something. That's not big things, that's what you did last time. I want a band to tweet Big Things Coming, and then a series of government buildings turn into flowers. Yes, turn into flowers. Yes, that's what we're going to say here. Yeah. Y'all want a free-spirited girl until she's dance battling a cat at a 7-Eleven. Yeah. You gotta specify the amount of free spirit you want. There's easygoing, and then there is completely unhinged. You want easygoing. You don't want completely unhinged. You just won 23 million, and your uncle swallowed a spoon and needs 22.9 million of surgery. As a child of God, what will you do? I'm gonna swallow the 23 million. So I need $23 million worth of surgery. What now? If you ask a coworker, how are you? And they say, well, I'm here. That loosely translates to,
I need you to push me off the roof. We can make it look like an accident. If I die, I'm finally free. If I live, we'll sue this place and split the money. Please, for the love of God, help me.
remember, when you first started driving and everything was scary, now you're going 80. Putting salsa on your taco. Driving with your knees. No, don't do this. Guys really live in apartments like this and don't see any issue. Sorry, we understand this economy and don't waste our money on dumb crap like the wooden arrows that say, live, laugh, love. All right. There's a middle ground, okay? There's intentional minimalism. There's I can't afford furniture, which is fine. I had that phase too. I had a mattress on the floor for a month. But there's also, an end table, a lamp, a place to hang your coat. The basics. IKEA. Just a little bit of IKEA. How do you feel about being in a relationship with someone who's still active on Tinder, but says it's just to find friends? Okay, I don't. Is there a just friends option on Tinder? I've genuinely not been on Tinder. If there's an option that on Tinder where you can say just friends, maybe. I think there's a friends only version of, I haven't touched any of these apps. But if there's not, that is suspect as hell. Please leave immediately. Do you ever wonder how many stories have been told about you? I don't mean rumors or gossip. A story like, one time I was at the mall and this girl dropped her hot dog, but she picked it up and ate it. What if I'm that girl? How many times have people seen me do something I thought no one saw and is now being used as an icebreaker at a family dinner? One time I was in this historical park in New York and I was climbing a tree in order to get a good photo and I fell out just as a family was walking past. 2 years later, I ran into the mom at a Stop and Shop and she gasped and said, "Oh my God, tree girl?" And I've never been the same since. Yeah, I wouldn't have either. I wouldn't have been able to recover that. I'd just been like, well, lovely to meet you. Goodbye. I'm just gonna die now. What do you trust more than the Bible? The ads on Pornhub telling me girls within 3 miles of my location want to hook up. Oh, never mind. Massive L to our ancestors for not domesticating the bear for the ultimate friend. I sympathize with the post on the one hand, but also, man, we should have domesticated bears. Has the same energy as a divorced dad being like, I should have married that girl from high school. When the girl in question was never ever interested and also turned out to be a lesbian front woman for an obscure but respected ska revival brand. Posts like these are why I can't leave Tumblr and have ultimately stopped trying. I love Tumblr. I love Tumblr so much.
Would it be immoral to raise a baby to believe they're growing up in the 90s by only exposing them to 90s media and then telling them the year is 1998 and then one day they're a bit older just to expose them to present day media and convince them they were asleep for a long time but didn't age? I think that would be immoral, yes. Imagine being held at gunpoint, bear with me, by a literate animal, and the only hope of rescue is, bear with me, tweeting a coded message. Holy crap, I haven't seen this one in a while. I know nothing about wine, so I buy bottles based on the label's art. My wife asked me what type of wine I wanted with dinner. I'm like, bear in a scuba suit. I used to do that with beer. People from states with nice roads may never understand what it's like hitting a pothole so hard that your soul leaves your body for a moment and you feel an obligation to audibly apologize to your car. People from states with nice roads? You mean literally none of them? Holy crap, a question I'm qualified for. I bartend, so I always have at least 3 cheese graters at my disposal, and we'll go through all 3 blocks on your soup if you don't stop me. I'll then watch and see if you actually eat it, and if you don't, judge you for wasting both my time and my cheese. I'll most definitely eat every single tiny scrap of that cheese and then lick any that fell off out on the table. Then I'll move to the floor, then the other tables, licking each and every customer's plate clean. I've never made it to the kitchen, but if I haven't been escorted out at that point, I'd be cleaning the cheese off of the counters. Okay, so when some PhD nerd does it, they're a chemist, and they get a research grant. But when I do it, I'm a felon, and I need to interlock my fingers behind my head. Such bullshit. Don't even talk to me right now. New movie idea. Small town farm boy goes to the big city and falls in love with a hotshot lawyer woman who convinces him to move into the city and start hating Christmas. Dude, please. Sometimes I say, huh? Then answer the question before the person even repeats themselves. I'm not deaf, my brain's just lagging like a 2005 Dell desktop. Mine does that every day, man. I eat 15 apples for breakfast, then drive myself to the hospital just to watch the doctors get blasted backward into the drywall because they can't withstand my aura. Can't get sentences like this anywhere else. Can I legally blow up a planet from the solar system? Let's say I build a device or have a supernatural power that allows me to completely destroy a planet with a giant explosion. Would I be charged by the law if I did that? All planets except Earth, by the way, obviously. I don't think there are any written laws saying that you can't destroy Venus or whatever. I don't have the patience or ability to play Elden Ring, but I'm madly jealous of everyone tweeting stuff like, I found Borgus, the wretched goat herder, in the plain of tormented milk. His head is 8 dogs. I had to fight him 342 times. He wept as he died. It was awesome. I too feel quite left out. By age 25, you should have a failed YouTube career. Yes, absolutely. A foreign film you watched accidentally yet always recommend. I believe so, yes. An unfinished 12-chapter fanfiction. No. An unfounded hatred of TikTok. Not as much. Had enough. Well, I made a few of the requirements. Have we checked all food to see if exploding them makes them into something better, or did we just stop with corn? Some people have resting bitch face. Adam Driver has resting professor of theology listening to his students present a report on religious symbolism in medieval art that they copied off of Wikipedia face. Okay. If you could only teleport somewhere to and back once, what would you use it on? How long do I stay? You can teleport back whenever you want. I would teleport to the foot of Quentin Tarantino's bed at 2 a.m., scream and shake his bed, then teleport back. What the fuck? Yeah, why him? I think my favorite part of every flight is during takeoff when the pilot screams, "Bend to my will, metal skybird, and take us into the big blueness," and all the passengers chant, "Skybird, skybird," to convince the plane to take off. The chanting does get old. It would be fitting. Foxes are dogs running cat software with a dolphin soundboard. I'm 25 and completely burnt out. What am I supposed to do for 50 more years? Maintain a yard? Bitch about traffic? Keep buying spinach and watching it die? Get oil changes? For fuck's sake! Yeah, pretty much. I once took my kids to a local farm and we found a little goat with its horn stuck in a fence. Just sitting there kinda mournfully on the grass. We tried to get it free, but it was stuck pretty tight. We petted it for a while and fed it some grass, as it had lawnmowered a circle around itself, as far as it could reach, and then went back to the ticket office to tell them it needed help. But before I'd said more than "there's a goat," the guy cut me off with a weary wave and said, "Yeah, we know, stuck in the fence. That's Brenda. She gets herself out there whenever she wants. She just likes the attention. Trolled by a goat. I'm f***ing dying. Yeah, that's Brenda." So, I tried to read 50 Shades of Grey this weekend, but every time Anastasia said, "Oh my," which was like 2 to 3 times per page, I couldn't help but imagine George Takei saying, "Oh my." By page 12, I imagined everything Anastasia said was in George Takei's voice. By page 15, I just imagined George Takei was Anastasia. I had to give up somewhere around page 17 because Christian was starting to sound and look like William Shatner. Captain Kirk, you know. And after that, I imagined everyone wearing Enterprise uniforms and, oh, okay. Wow, it just turned into a non-sexy Star Trek book. You ask me for the time and notice my watch is actually a live shrimp hugging my wrist. He whispers, 12:30. But he's guesstimating, as shrimps usually do. The boredom of self-isolation. Did you know that if you rest a naked testicle on top of an open beer bottle and hold a naked flame underneath it, the testicle will be sucked into the bottle? If you do know this, do you know how to get it out? Waiting for the answer, please hurry. Yeah. Gotta bust that bottle around your balls, dude. Alexa, show me the unnervingly large Venn diagram of people who ate immigrants but love to take 23andMe tests to find out exactly what type of immigrant their family once was. Okay, I don't want my laptop to be the thinnest model yet. I want a battery that will outlast the sun. A screen big enough to blind the person behind me. More USB slots than there are Apple fanboys in the Bay Area. A f***ing disc reader writer. I'll pay extra for it to be heavy enough to bludgeon someone to death with. It's Catholic canon that in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus Christ saw every sin committed by human beings, which means that he watched a guy blasting rope to Waluigi hentai and still decided to sacrifice himself for humanity. The absolute legend. Imagine you getting a job at a GameStop, and your manager is the type of guy to chug a whole Monster energy drink and then say, "Haha, level up." And he does that every day. This is oddly specific. Are you okay? No, he works for GameStop. The next Call of Duty should be a realistic RPG that starts with you working a Little Caesars and an army recruiter lies to you at the mall. Pretty sure The Onion did a video somewhat like that way back in the day. Dating someone who's not as online as you is weird. In the span of 2 hours, my girlfriend will read a book, go for a walk, and cook a meal while I'll still be trying to figure out why Communist Daddy 69 thinks I'm a moron. Friend, over the phone, do you think the quarantine has changed you? Me knitting a dress for the raccoons in my backyard? No. Every cop show? Damn, this serial killer is crafty, very smart, and sneaky. Every True Crime podcast. Despite dozens of complaints from neighbors, it took over a year for police to investigate the source of the foul odor. You can say please and thank you 1,000,000 times, and your toddler will never repeat it. But if you say ass-faced motherfucker once, I'm at the age where the heated seats in my truck are more about soothing back pain than warming me up. Oh, Mr. Moneybags over here has heated seats. Wow, this pub is great. I sure hope someone with an acoustic guitar starts playing a cover of the Black Keys' Lonely Boy on a set of PA speakers so I have to shout over the top of it to have a conversation with my friends. Oh, dude, even better if you accidentally went on trivia night and the microphone is not cued in right. In 3rd grade, I was suspended for inciting a mob when me and all of my fellow cesarean-born kids started making fun of the natural-born kids because they touched their mom's and I just wanted to apologize for that before the world ends. Struggle with sleep? Here are some useful tips. Turn your phone off early. Have a relaxing bath. Open the window. Help a raccoon climb through the window so you can watch Netflix together. This is a sleepover now. Make popcorn for the raccoon. Avoid caffeine. Hey, who's your favorite short, half Irish and half Jewish but secular, dark-haired, light-eyed former child actor with a severe nickel allergy who played the title character from a beloved British children's book about a child with magic powers? Me, right? Damn it, Radcliffe! I really think Rasputin lucked out, in that being remembered by history as some species of giant, unkillable sex wizard is something most of us can only fruitlessly aspire to. The only thing I remember is that apparently he never bathed. Can you imagine smelling like a corpse? Big dick or not, why would you want that? Reddit, am I the asshole? My mom, 82, told me, 12, to do the dishes, but I, 12, was too busy playing Fortnite, 3 kills. So I, 12, grabbed my controller, DualShock 4, and threw it at her, 138 kilometers per hour. I love seeing people online say, I watch real movie criticism, while linking to a video labeled Captain Marvel sucks and is cancer. That's an hour long by a guy named the Sarcastic Alcoholic who uses an icon of a plague doctor in a tuxedo drinking scotch and facepalming. Oh man. Sex is great, but have you ever handed in your notice to a job that shattered your mental health for months? Nothing has felt more liberating in my life. When I quit Comcast, I felt like I had been freed. Bro, why is laundry the most exhausting chore? I do the laundry for 2 hours and feel like I fought 12 seagulls. I don't know, I've never had any issue with the laundry. I find it kinda relaxing now. Damn girl, are you a kid's movie from my generation? Because you're fun and cute, but also horrifying in many ways I didn't originally realize. My 36F husband, 41M, has some disturbing requests for after he's passed away. This one's really bizarre, and I'm sorry ahead of time. My husband of 12 years has had some medical problems recently. The topic about end-of-life plans came up, and I asked if he wanted to be buried. He did not want that, nor did he want to be cremated. My husband wants me to have his skull taken from his body and cleaned. Then, he wants that skull put on the mantelpiece in the living room. The rest of his body he wants sent to one of those places that makes the gems out of bodies and made into 2 blue diamonds. He then wants those gems to be put in the eye sockets of the skull to look like eyes. Then, he can watch the family home and be passed down through the generations. That is some Resident Evil Mansion shit right there, dude. Gotta go find the blue gems and put them in the skull to make the clock stop. Women get to smell like real things. Vanilla, lavender. But men have to smell like concepts. What the fuck is Cool Sport Rush? Listen, if you sneak up on someone to grab them as a joke and they elbow you in the diaphragm as hard as possible, that's your fault. Your entire goal was to startle. Some people's startle response is a limbic hijack mode. That's fight. You ran the risk of that happening to you and you still did it. I'm just sick of the, oh my god, what's your problem reaction when it's like, I don't know, man, you triggered a deeply entrenched survival instinct for a laugh and it didn't work out for you. Maybe shut the f*** up. Adult Arthur looks like he used to front a regionally successful pop punk band in the late thousands. That was really just a few years too late to really catch the big commercial wave, so then he got into tech startups. Man, I teared up at that finale, dude. It's not a Sunday unless you completely waste it and then feel really sad around 8 p.m. Whenever I eat soup with bread on the side, I like to pretend I'm in a medieval tavern having supper after a long day of traveling. Me too. I miss how Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network only aired commercials aimed at kids. I wish there was an option like that on Hulu or YouTube. Like, please no more insurance or antidepressants. Only show me the latest in super soaker technology. Do British people really still do the accent when nobody's around? It's Tuesday, innit? A bottle of water. I beg your pardon, my dear fellow. However, I must point out to you that we don't all talk like we're a street urchin selling jellied eels from a bucket. Really? I don't want to work 5 days a week and figure out what to cook for dinner every day. I want to lie on a rock in the sun like a lizard. Men writing women's characters. She was beautiful but didn't know it. She was 5'7" and 101 pounds. Her feet were size 3. Her hat size was infant. She'd never thrown up even once. Her periods lasted 45 minutes and her top was see-through. She breasted breastily down the hallway. 10 years from now, you'll put on a jacket and find a mask in the pocket. Oh man, what a weird year that was, you'll chuckle to yourself. Then you'll pick up your machete and continue across the wasteland, keeping to the shadows to avoid the roving gangs of cannibal raiders. I'm hoping that's the future. That sounds like fun. If you were the type of child that hoarded stickers because you couldn't commit to sticking them onto something and not being able to remove them in one piece, congrats! You're now an anxious adult, as are you apparently. The single most important thing a man can do to be an ally is to give his woman friends permission to give dudes at the bar his number so that when they call, he can angrily say that's not funny because she died 15 years ago that very night. I like that. Chris Jericho out here looking like your recently divorced middle-aged alcoholic aunt who just took a pre-bowling alley night selfie before heading out to meet her Tinder date named Chuck. That's Chris Jericho? Is that not the lead singer of Guns N' Roses? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Right. So when I started my sociology course in college, my teacher started us off with, well, I guess we have to do icebreakers. I'm John, and I fear bears. Why do I fear bears? Because bears can run at 30 miles an hour, and Chester Zoo is 30 miles away. That means a bear can be outside the door in an hour. Why would a bear be there? Because they can smell fear and I fear them. Might be kind of dangerous to be around that teacher then, huh? Sorry if I'm not your cup of tea. I'm not even my own cup of tea. I'm barely a cup, and I don't like tea. I'm more like a rusty bucket of haunted bog water. Sorry if I'm not your rusty bucket of haunted bog water. If I were a human bone trying to escape the body, I'd probably wait until that person was eating a chicken wing, then try to slip out through the mouth. Let them think I'm just part of the wing they ate. By the time they figure it out, I'm long gone. Are bones trying to escape on a regular basis? Yeah, breakups hurt, but have you ever been a super talkative, enthusiastic person, but slowly over the years and after trauma, you watch yourself become more quiet and quiet to the point where that enthusiastic, bubbly person just isn't who you are anymore? Bro, I'm in the middle of that right now. If you try to hand a woman something enclosed in your fist, she's going to think you're trying to hand her a bug. Even if you've known her for years and have never tried to give her a bug before, they never let their guard down regarding being handed a bug. And I don't either. You keep that fist away from me. Imagine getting in a cab, blacked out, trying to make it home, and then you wake up with $3,000 in your pocket. You panic because you don't know how you got the money. 10 months later, you're watching TV and see your drunk ass getting in the back of the cash cab and nailing all the questions. Alright, new rule. If you regularly consume the blood and flesh of a demigod in a room full of chanting elders, you're not allowed to call other religions primitive and evil. This is oddly specific and leaves some very interesting questions unanswered. Catholicism sure does sound weird when you put it that way. Starting a job feels like you're a new character on the 9th season of a TV show. Yeah, embrace your inner child. Run in a meadow, laugh at the sun, follow the rainbow, pee in your pants, get angry at the color blue, scream because circles should be squares, tell a stranger she looks like the lady in Daddy's Secret magazines, believe in magic. College students home for quarantine. Assert dominance by waking up before your parents so that when they come downstairs you can passive-aggressively sip your coffee and say, well, look who finally decided to get out of bed. Hey, who's your favorite short, half-Irish, half-Jewish, but secular, dark-haired, light-eyed former child actor with a severe nickel allergy who played the title character from a beloved British children's book about a child with magic powers? Me, right? Damn it, Radcliffe! People protesting for Disneyland to open so they can walk around in the blazing sun for 7 hours to go on 3 rides, then have the worst family fight in years and silently drive home. I don't go there with family. Dogs are welcome in this hotel. We've never had a dog that smoked in bed and set fire to the blankets. We've never had a dog that stole our towels and played the TV too loud, or had a noisy fight with his traveling companion. We've never had a dog that got drunk and broke up the furniture. So, if your dog can vouch for you, you're welcome too. The management! Cute dog. Can I have them? No. Can I have you instead then? That was smooth. It's all just a facade to make you drop your guard with me. Then we fall in love, move to Hawaii and get married, but I work too much, so we argue. We decide it's time for us to split up. I get the dog in the divorce. It was all for the dog. Imagine you're living inside a tiny mushroom house with a tiny chimney, deep in the woods. No one knows you exist. You make soup in a tiny pot. You are free. You don't know what fun is until you've witnessed a drunk on the Edinburgh to Glasgow train screaming, "I fucking hate hedgehogs. Come at me, you jabby weak," while angrily circling a hairbrush that's been dropped on the floor. Yo, can anybody tell me about this ice cream here? They got it packaged all nice and it's set up like only rich people buy it, so I need to know, because the display make me want to buy it. Oh, dude, that shit is so awesome. That's not ice cream. This is gelato, aka Italian God sent from the clouds of Olympia. It's icier and creamier than ice cream ever fathomed. Bluebell had a pure sweet child with a velvet suede 3-piece suit, and that child got straight A's in culinary perfection and went on to graduate with a PhD in delicious from the University of Yes Lord. That salted caramel tastes like sex with your favorite celebrity. Cop that, and he is right. Remember when you used to go over to your friend's house and you'd go down to the computer room, to the dad's old shitty desktop computer and sit on the giant black leather computer chair, and your friend would show you Charlie the Unicorn and epic rap battles of history type stuff on YouTube while their younger siblings bugged you for a turn on the computer? Maybe once, but we were usually playing RuneScape. Dudes will be like, "Where's my big titty GF with a small waist that watches anime and plays video games but not too much and can both be my mom and my therapist?" Meanwhile, they're just some guy. Wow. I was at work and I had the hiccups. I was stalking an aisle and this lady in the aisle heard me hiccuping and said, "Oh, do you have the hiccups?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "Do you want me to get rid of them?" And I thought that she meant she was going to scare me, so I was like, "No thanks." And she was like, "Do you want to keep your hiccups?" And I said, "Yeah, please don't scare me." And then I wandered off. Then, a couple of minutes later, I still had the hiccups, and she walked by. And on her way out, she said, "I wasn't going to scare you, you know." And I said, "You weren't?" She said, "No, I have a way I can cure hiccups." I was like, "Well, what is it?" She says, "There's something about me. When I talk to people, their hiccups just go away. I just chat, or maybe tell them a story, and after a minute or so, their hiccups are just gone." And I thought she was definitely on some pseudoscience shit. So I kind of laughed and joked like, "You should expect a call from the X-Men soon then." She said, "No, for real. I bet your hiccups are gone now, aren't they?" And sure enough, my fucking hiccups were gone. They stopped while she was speaking to me and didn't come back all night. What the hell kind of power did this woman have? Is she a hiccup witch? I have so many questions for her. The best part of being a hitman has to be taking a shower where you place your hands on the wall and let the water run down your face while you ponder the moral ambiguity of your actions. Huh? Honk if you'd rather be watching the 1999 cinematic masterpiece The Mummy starring Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. What if you put your fingers in a girl's mouth to be sexy and she just made a really loud whistle with them that called a horse over? Is that what they're trying to do? Cool country you got there. Would be a shame if someone invented a website for ranking hot girls on campus and your mom used it to learn how to poison herself with horse paste. Shit. Jack Black is literally the only human that never needs any context for me. I could see him going anywhere and doing anything. Like, if I got abducted by aliens and saw him just wandering around the spaceship putting bugle chips on his fingers to make it look like he had claws, I would be like, "That's some classic Jack Black right there," and not even question it. I'm sick of pointing a gun at my dad through my window at 2 a.m. as he pleads, "Come on, Jake, just let your old paw in, I'm tired," and replying, "You're not my dad, he's asleep in the other room, I hear him snoring," when watching his expression go sour as he turns back towards the woods. My guy, where do you live? Every city has a guy they all know about. You can visit a friend in their town and see a man dressed in robes riding a horse, and your friend will go, "Oh yeah, that's horseback Jesus," and then that's just the end of the explanation. Yeah, every town has a couple of guys. 4 persons max, 1,000 kilos, or 1 horse, 5,000 bananas, 6,666 hens' eggs, 2,941 pigeons, 88 haddock, or 10,526 nickels. Oh, thanks. You guys really tested it, didn't you? Hey, old lady who stole our doormat, you should probably just bring it back. That's super weird, and you're way too old for this shit. 25 to 30 years is a long time, y'all. It's long enough to be born, grow up, go to grad school, make no money in your field, get a steady day job, have that job suddenly vanish because of a global pandemic, and then get way too into D&D as a coping mechanism. Hey, had a dream that McDonald's had a big ad campaign that just said, "We have it," in black cryptic writing. So I went to a drive-thru and said, "I saw this sign. Can I have it?" And the speaker was silent for a solid 10 seconds before saying, "Do you think you're ready?" in my voice, and I screamed and drove away. Mike, age 35. Looking for a girl who's really trusting and healthy, must have both kidneys, non-smoker, and not be a heavy drinker or take any drugs that could damage the liver. Type O negative blood a plus. I'm 6 feet tall. Did you grow up with an emotionally unavailable parent so you craved love so bad until you eventually resented it, and now when someone tries to show you love it makes you extremely uncomfortable, or are you normal? Jesus, dude. Brownies with or without nuts. The nuts are unnecessary and fuck up my chewing flow. Brings nothing to the table except chaos. Individuals who want nuts in their brownies are unstable and cheat in relationships. Dude, nuts in a brownie? That's a surefire way to destroy something incredibly good. This delicious, sweet, chocolatey treat is so chewy and gooey. We should add little protein rocks into the mix. For those who may not know, Black Panther is the richest comic book character ever created, worth about $500 billion. More than Bruce Wayne's net worth multiplied by Tony Stark's net worth, all multiplied by 2. That is all. Correction. Black Panther is the richest character in superhero comics. The richest comic book character all around is Scrooge McDuck, worth about 5 multiplagillion 9 impossibillion 7 fantastic a trillion dollars and 16 cents. If you're laid up with your girl in a 41 to 135 degree room and she starts multiplying rapidly, that bitch is a foodborne pathogen. Stay woke, bros. Don't be boring with your midlife crisis and buy a sports car. Go hard. Learn magic. Lease a falcon. Start a cult. Are people worried about you? Sure. But they're also a little curious. Yeah, man, sign them up for the cult. You gotta make those falcon payments now. The reason cats are so pissy is they're God's perfect killing machines, but they only weigh 8 pounds and we keep picking them up and kissing them. Yeah, that's enough to drive you crazy, huh? Love ordering pizza but hate receiving and or eating it? Call the fake pizza hotline. No, I don't think I will. Being a serial killer is much like being a comedian, in that you either hit it big and get your own Netflix special, or you spend eternity popping up on shitty podcasts. It's wild that you can just do anything. Date the wrong person, choose the wrong career. You can go outside and start eating dirt if you want, and the universe lets you. Not even a pop-up like, "Hey man, are you sure?" Why isn't porn more realistic? Like, why isn't there one with a husband and a wife, and the wife chokes violently on her own spit, and the husband gets alarmed, and they spend a good 5 minutes with her coughing and him smacking her on the back, and then the mood is gone, so they go and get donuts. Always carry a potato wrapped in foil to a party. It's a conversation starter. Ever seen a lion's egg? A conversation avoider? Excuse me, hot, a conversation ender. Just got this cyst removed. Feel how heavy. Always carry a potato wrapped in foil to a party. If Uber had an option where a guy with a mullet picked you up in an 87 Chevy Silverado with the windows down, blaring Travis Tritt, cooler full of Coors in the truck bed, and responded to everything you said with "Hell yeah, brother," then I'd choose it more than I'm proud to admit. I'd be proud to admit I would choose it all the time. Stop trying to make a toxic relationship work and just move back to your hometown. Date someone from your high school class. Conceive a child 3 months into the relationship. Force a marriage. And spend the rest of your life living for the Myrtle Beach vacation you take every July. Humans in sci-fi. Stupid artificial beings. LOL, they don't have feelings, so you could treat them like shit. Humans in real life. I put googly eyes on my toaster. His name is James now, and I will protect him with my life. How do I tell my boyfriend that I want him to scream at me in bed like he's Gordon Ramsay and I'm a little chef who just ruined a creme brulee? You don't. You keep that bottled up forever. I got blocked and ghosted on Snapchat after sending a selfie a lot of times. I started chatting with a girl, and after I sent a selfie, I would just get blocked. Don't let that discourage you. These kind of people don't deserve your time and effort anyway. I did eventually find someone, and you will too. Just keep your head up and keep searching. Are we talking a normal selfie and then you were blocked, or was it a full body mirror selfie where you were wearing a fedora and a Rick and Morty silk button-up shirt with no pants, no underwear, black socks, and combat boots, and the picture was taken in the mirror of your hoarded, dirty bathroom, and in the background, your elderly mother looks on in surprise and horror while holding a heaping plate of chicken nuggets and a box of Capri Suns? Jesus Christ. Women of Reddit, sexy ones only. What's the sexiest thing about a morbidly obese, gaming-addicted, nihilistic, antisocial, narcissistic man-child? People cry doing their math homework? Some of you never had to spend hours in the kitchen table crying as your dad shouts, "What is 3 times 7?" Yeah, for me it was a little bit different. I wasn't allowed to say I don't know. Dude, you gotta watch this show. The first 5 seasons are terrible, and every episode is 9 hours long, but season 7 is decent, and season 12 literally made me laugh. You can only watch it on Prime Video, and every episode costs $4. Thanks, Drew. I'll get on it. I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but you can eat lasagna in the shower if you want. It's not illegal. They can't arrest you. Go and be free. I once heard ska described as what plays in a 13-year-old kid's head when he gets extra mozzarella sticks, and nothing in this world is more accurate, or has been since. Unpopular opinion. The best thing young people can do early in their career is to abandon their identity and start over in a coastal New England town as a mysterious but beloved local bartender. I hate horror movie fans. Always saying shit like, have you seen Clown Town 4? It was straight to DVD and banned in Brazil. The ending is a 30-minute torture scene. It's honestly better than The Godfather. No one tell James A. Janice. Girlfriend is sleeping and her breasts are exposed. Young me would have lost his mind, but old me is going to stand over her while eating a baguette so I can pretend I'm a coroner mid-autopsy in a terrible cop show. Okay. Oh no, I simply do not have time for a 30-minute workout today, I said to myself as I proceeded to spend the next 2 hours watching videos of turtles eating strawberries. What? That's important business. Imagine it's your day in court for a horrible crime you didn't commit. Your lawyer is late. You haven't even met them yet. Then the doors swing open and it's a f***ing golden retriever in a suit. Your heart sinks. You realize you are in Air Bud 14, attorney at paw. You weep. No, but you've got plot armor. You're gonna win. Imagine you were a whale and you were breaking up with your whale girlfriend and humans recorded your conversation and put it on Spotify to fall asleep to. That would be so f***ed up. Anyone else stuck in this weird cycle where work is so exhausting that your hobbies feel like too much work so you don't do them and you go back to work upset that you didn't take the time to do the things that you like and rinse and repeat? No. How come when a house is haunted, it's always a ghost from the 1700s? Imagine a ghost from 2003 screaming, "It's Britney, bitch," at 3 a.m. Sure, sex is great, but have you taken a shit so hard that it clears your tummy and you feel confident and your depression is cured and you're successful in life and you can conquer the world? I can't say that I've ever taken a crap that good before in my life, and honestly, I'm kind of envious now. By age 25, you should have a failed YouTube career. Got it. A foreign film you watched accidentally yet always recommend. Got it. An unfinished 12-chapter fanfiction. Don't got it. An unfounded hatred of TikTok. I'm indifferent now. Had enough. Yep, I think I meet the majority of these though. Remember that phase of grade school when it was pretty common for kids to just randomly throw up in the middle of class? Why was that a thing? Ooh, that's actually an excellent question. What the hell was going on back then? Can someone explain? No, solicitation, except Tamale Lady. Oh yeah, Tamale Lady always goes straight to the front. She can come right the hell on in. I'm giving her all my money. The sun is probably the closest thing we'll ever have to a true eldritch abomination. Hear me out here. Older than recorded history, was here longer than any of us, and will be here long after we leave. Has a finite beginning and end, but it's still incomprehensibly ancient. Burns itself into your vision instantly and can blind you if you look for too long. Further prolonged exposure can cause cancerous growths. Non-humanoid shape floating through space. Colossal flaming tentacles angrily lash out on occasion. Sort of just appeared one day and is now surrounded by the corpses of its stillborn children. People used to sacrifice other people to appease it, and I'm pretty sure it screams at us sometimes. Oh dude, the sun screams at us all the time. But thanks to the vacuum of space, we don't have to hear the sun go, "Ah!" 24 hours a day. How many squirrel carcasses will fit in the cooler if I already have 11 Lone Star beers and a quart of ice? Well, it depends. Have you already drank 11 beers, and that means you only have one left in the cooler? If so, 11 squirrels. If not, only one squirrel. What the hell is going on these camping trips? The main thing that puts me off of playing chess is that there's 2,000 years of gameplay that hundreds of people with higher IQs than me have spent thousands of hours studying the history of. So much so that when I put the pawn forward, they say, I see you're going for the Bulgarian somersault. And then I try to take their bishop with my knight and they go, rookie mistake. You've played the Frenchman's Cossack, and in approximately 37 moves, I'll have won. Yeah, it's a little overwhelming. It's overwhelming for me even if I'm playing against someone that's never played before. I'm not not good at chess. I cannot strategize. Me too dumb. I could easily overpower 9 senior citizens. Oh yeah, we could whoop their asses, man. Just one of us could do it. You know how when you're a fast walker and the guy ahead of you's fast too, but only 90% as fast as you, so you must pass him? But to pass him, you have to walk comically faster than your normal speed, or else you'll be in his personal space too long as you pass? That's annoying. And that is my entire life when it comes to walking anywhere. I like walking. It's cheap, and by cheap I mean completely free. It's nice, it's good exercise, but I walk really fast. And I can understand how it would be for people to have this fast walking freak come around and have to walk behind. I cross the street when I'm near people, okay? Not because I'm afraid of people, but because I'm afraid they're gonna think I'm following them, or I'm coming after them or something. And by the way, when you're walking alone, don't walk down the middle of the sidewalk, please. You know how many people I've scared by saying, "Excuse me," because I need to get past them on the sidewalk? And no, I'm not gonna slow down because then I'm really gonna look like a freak, okay? I hate when I'm at Goodwill and I find a dress I think is cute, and then I check the tag and it says it's from Spirit Halloween, and I suddenly see that it's not a cute dress, but in fact, a slutty Bumblebee costume. I have never seen anything that fun at Goodwill before. I'm gonna be honest with you. Khloe Kardashian's hands look like the hands of what I imagine lives under my bed and grabs my ankles in my sleep. Oh, to each their own when it comes to fingernails. I mean, I bite and tear mine off so they look like shit, but I feel they look a lot better than someone with 14-inch fingernails. I mean, how do you get anything done with nails like that? Teacher, your essay must start with an attention grabber. Me, so I'm sitting there. Barbecue sauce on my tits. Is this the origin of that? I don't know where that originally came from. I know there was a video, but did it come from this? If you cheating on your lady, I hope the women you cheated with get pregnant and your girl find out and leave you, and then you find out the kid not even yours the whole time. Your side bitch was married and her husband come murder your ass and help solve your homicide because he's the detective over your case and works for the cops. Wow! That is a hell of a movie. Whoa. Okay, can we get that one jotted down for M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong? Someday a guy is gonna see me eating a whole baguette with my bare hands in my parked car and think that's her. She's the one. But are you gonna understand when they come up and say, "Hey, I think you're my wife"? Is dream sexual and dream gender not valid? I will run over dream gender / sexuals with my 2001 Honda Civic. Wait, what kind of car you got though? Oh, dream sexual and dream gender. God damn, dude. Just shut up. The population of Scotland is around 5.25 million, and there are 600 million cats in the world. So if every cat decided to invade Scotland, each Scot would have to fight off around 114 cats, and I really don't think they could pull it off. You know, I think they'd have a chance, just so long as they used the right weapons, mainly hand vacuums, spray bottles, canned air, you know, those scare the crap out of cats. What else could they use? Full-size vacuums even? I don't know, a riding lawnmower? I feel like that would be very effective against the cat horde. I'm just spitballing here. Scotland, we know you're not gonna be attacked by every cat in the world. Okay, we think you're not gonna be attacked by every cat in the world, but I guess it's best if you're as prepared as possible. What's the worst thing that can happen to men? Accidentally get his dick chopped off with Asian scissors on a vacation in a Spanish hotel at... Dude, are you okay? What the hell happened? You just told on yourself and I'm a little concerned. Did you deserve it? No, seriously, you gotta tell us why this happened. I was bullied for being artsy. Now, tell the whole story. You were busting out the ukulele in the halls and singing Riptide. That's just the musician's version of the anime kid right there. I knew a kid kind of like that. He chilled out and realized how dumb it was, but he used to carry his acoustic guitar everywhere he went. He was good. He played it very, very well. But man, it was so lame watching him order at the McDonald's next to our school while just showing off the acoustic guitar, hoping that the employees would notice and go, "Oh, whoa, guitar? That's so rare and unique. Could you play for us, please?" I hate to admit this, but our feelings on certain things really do change as we get older. 10 years ago, I would have preferred to get a new video game instead of an engagement ring, but now that I'm older, I'd prefer to get a domesticated raccoon instead of an engagement ring. Yeah, an engagement ring. You know what you could do? Literally, just think about this. You can get a titanium ring on Amazon for $10 from some, I don't know, random Chinese company. It'll get scuffed up, it'll get dirty, but it's a goddamn ring, and if you want that symbol, you spent $10 on it. You didn't have to mortgage something out. You didn't have to get a $300,000 loan to ask your girlfriend or boyfriend, you want to get married? It's actually kind of crazy, I know. And hey, if you did want to do that, hey dude, that's great. I'm not trying to make you feel stupid for it, I'm just pointing out. Some people want domesticated raccoons instead of $500,000 engagement rings. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Modern songs are so oddly specific. Like, song lyrics used to be, I love you, or I'm sad. And now they're all, we first met in an abandoned subway station that I got lost in on my way home from the club. We had sex for 3 consecutive days, but then your great aunt died and you've never been the same since. Now I have no one to have sex with, so I cope by snorting lines of off my mom's treasured mare she gave me when she broke it to me that I wasn't inbred. Guess what, fool? No one can relate to that. Okay, in 1970, Black Sabbath made a song about a guy that travels into the future and sees the end of the world, gets turned into steel by a magnetic storm on his way back, unable to warn people of the impending apocalypse. When people continue to mock his attempts to communicate in order to save them, he becomes so angry that he goes on a rampage of revenge, causing the apocalypse he foresaw. Well, damn it, if that ain't among the most metal stories I ever did hear. Did they ever make a movie out of that? That'd be pretty cool. Come on, not the top story. I want the Black Sabbath story, man. You found a suitcase full of $750,000 in cash in $100 bills in the brush next to a highway. You can tell that it's been there for at least a year. How would you integrate this money into your life without raising red flags? It's cash. Just use it every now and then? I mean, don't go drop $750,000 in bills on a house. You gotta chill. But I mean, look, gonna buy beers for your homies? Here's $100. It's done. Donezo. No one's gonna question you on that, right? Right? Apple ID account recovery contacts makes resetting your password and maintaining access to your account easier than ever. And a new digital legacy program lets you designate people as legacy contacts so they can access your account in the event of your death, coming later this year. Wait, really? I can, will my account to people when I die? I mean, I don't use my Apple ID for anything. I hate making an account for everything. It's so freaking annoying, but that just seems strange, doesn't it? Why would I need anybody to access my Apple ID in the event of my death? Just delete it. I am dead. Erase it. I guess that's why? So one of your homies can go in there and wipe it from the planet? Or wipe as much of it as Apple would allow because, data, money, whatever, I don't know, dude. She's a 10, but her ex was so destructive emotionally that she's built an impenetrable barrier fortress around her feelings, and you can't do anything but be patient with her until she realizes you're not gonna hurt her. She's still a 10, though. I mean, if you're being patient and understanding, then, what else can you really do? I mean, that's it. Don't try to rush things along. Just be a good person, That's all we should be trying to do, is be good people, be decent people, right? Her ex, first of all. You go, man. You go. How's your Monday, unknown social media manager person? Think I'm depressed. LMAO. Hi, Vicky here, managing director of socials for Amazon Prime Video. Apologies for the last message. That was an accident and will not be happening again. We're having a fabulous Monday and hope you are as well. They shot him right at his damn desk. How fast was that second message sent? How quickly did an AI read the word depressed, or LMAO, or think? How fast did that AI warn an armed security guard to come in and just cause the guy to at himself twice in the back of the head? Come on, Amazon, we know what you're up to. Helpful grammar tip. Farther is for physical distance. Further is for metaphorical distance. And father is for emotional distance. Who hurt you? My father did. Did you not read the post? Yeah, I mean, come on. Who hurt you? They f***ing said right there. Can you read? You're eager to have sex with this person, but when you walk into their bedroom, you see something that completely ruins the mood. What is it? A messy room with old Pop-Tart wrappers, spilled ashtrays, dirty clothes in multiple piles, roaches on the wall, a lingering smell that's a mix of boiled eggs and flat beer, pictures of all their exes lined up in chronological order, and to top it off, their parents sitting down with cameras turned on. If you need to talk, we're here. Wait, hold on. You've got all sorts of nasty going on. Roaches on the wall is all you need. Hell, you know what? Trash is all you need. I'm sorry. Shouldn't be f***ing that person. You should be helping that person. I mean, oh, damn. Roaches? Also, quick question. Their parents sitting down with cameras turned on. What the hell does that mean? Are they in the room holding cameras ready to make a porno? Are they on a Zoom or Skype or Discord call or something? What is happening? Please explain further. This is not a scenario you just made up. I refuse to believe that until I'm dead. I like hanging out with guys because there's less drama. Translation. Whenever I spend time with my female friends, we always end up doing an unabridged reading of Hamlet, and I'm salty because they always make me play Polonius? Sorry, I don't remember anything from Hamlet. Actually, we didn't do anything on that in school. I thought we would eventually. I just read The Giver what feels like 8,000 times. And that book, Tangerine. There were a few books we read, and I know Hamlet's not a book. Cut me some goddamn slack. Okay, it's been a while since I was in high school. Not that long, but a while, alright? To level 3! And you can get pegged by a gorilla with a rusty nail it keeps in the corner so the zookeepers won't find it. Why, man? What did we do? What? Screw you, man. Okay, let's see. What does this sign say? Carrying fishing rods, helium balloons, flags, and selfie sticks near live wire is dangerous. Yeah, those are reasonably the only long things you would be carrying at any given moment that are enough to touch live electrical wire that will kill you. It's not really that specific. They're just thinking, what are the most common, long, tall things people would potentially carry around here? This one's just a funny warning to read, because you know someone has died with a fishing rod, with a balloon, or a flagpole, or selfie stick. Those are all pretty reasonable things to accidentally poke a live wire with. Max weight, 200 pounds, or about 2,600 pairs of scissors? Alright, yeah, that wins. No, out of all the Americans will do anything to not use the metric system, that wins hands down. Also, who is max weight? Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Some people are secretly at war with owls, for example. Well, I wish them luck, honestly. My niece wants to know, if she donates her hair to Locks of Love and the recipient of her hair commits a crime and leaves hair at the crime scene, will her DNA be found all over the crime scene and thus incriminate her? She's 12. Yeah, I'd like to know that too. I mean, I feel like if you were incriminated somehow, they would go, oh, you literally donated hair. It says so here in their system. But I don't know, man. You'd have an alibi. You'd have a good alibi. Oh yeah, this person committed a murder in Ohio. I live in Alaska. Huh, how does that work? My sister kicks me in the balls. Me, who has access to the routers and can block Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, etc. Prepare to feel the wrath of a pissed off nerd with admin privileges. Oh, shut up, kitty toes. Give me motivation to study, please. If you don't study, you'll be dumb, and one day you're gonna have a son, and he's gonna come to you super late at night, and when you yell at him to try and discipline him, he'll be like, what's 7 plus 8? Haha, that's right, you don't even know, dumbass. Good night. It's too hot. Opens window. In comes 20 flies, 8 spiders, 17 daddy longlegs, 50 moths, 3 dragons, and 12 Jehovah's Witnesses. Do you not have a screen on your window? Dating a hot girl will really teach you more than 18 years of education. Dating a toxic person will teach you why you should buy your own milk? I really want to know the story behind this knowledge. No, yeah, we need to understand what's going on there. We cater any event. Wedding, Cousin Bob's wedding, graduation, horse funeral, drug intervention, Cousin Bob's divorce party, Tuesday, birthday party, anniversary, dog birthday, welcome home from prison, Cousin Bob's second wedding, last meal before you go back to prison. We'll cater any and all events for you. Ask for our catering menu. Yeah, okay, come on over. When I worked at a bookstore, I learned that when an author like, I don't know if it's Dean or Don, so I want to say Dean, I never learned that, Dean Koontz signs his books, their resale value goes up. I also learned that when an author like Stephen King signs Dean Koontz books, the price goes even higher, and that Dean Koontz is not amused by this. You know what, now that I'm reading it, I feel like it's Don. Is it a Don? Is it like a Sean Bond thing? A Scene Bean sort of deal? Wouldn't it be funny if everyone who doesn't jump in an hour goes missing on May 15th, 2023 at 5 hours, 42 minutes, and 35 seconds? That would be so funny, bro. How did "the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog" become the typical sentence that contains all of the letters of the alphabet and not "Sphinx of black quartz judge my vow," which is objectively a million times cooler? Well, look, I'm just saying, we the people have the power to create memes and common phrases, at least. So I think we can do that. If everybody starts using "Sphinx of black quartz judge my vow," I think we can replace the stupid brown fox bullshit. I like that one a lot more. It's a lot more fun, and it's more challenging to say. It's actually quite hard. Let me try it one more time. "Sphinx of black quartz, judge my vow." Yeah, it requires trying a little harder to enunciate. Where does it hurt? Headache, stomach ache, spending the entire day preparing bread dough just for it to burn in the oven? Oh, that sucks, man. I'm genuinely sorry. Made on Earth by humans. I don't buy that for one friggin' second, dude. At my funeral, take the bouquet off my coffin and throw it into the crowd to see who is next. And if you could be so kind, could you throw it at one of my family members I'm not super fond of, just to make them panic a little bit? And maybe, to make it a little spicier, give them a cryptic message along with it, like goodbye, or a gift, one final gift from him. Anyone else start falling asleep in a place that's not your bed, and when you finally get to your bed, you're not tired? Yeah. Couch tired never translates to the bed. It never does, and quite honestly, I think it's torture. Me says the wrong name during sex, my girlfriend. Who the f*** is Imperator Caesar Nerva Trianus Divi Nervae Filifilurbat Augustus? I'm sorry, I couldn't even remotely pretend to read that whole name. Holy God. Imperator Caesar Nerva Trianus Divi Nervae Filius Augustus? I don't know, man. I'm sorry. How will you react when on October 17th, 2024, a skinned corpse missing 3 fingers is found on a Wisconsin doorstep? The beginning? The beginning of what? What's gonna happen? You know that feeling of anxiety as you're about to walk past the security sensors on your way out of a store and you think, oh my God, did I shove a TV up my ass? I can't remember. Oh yeah. It's even worse if you've got something on your clothes that sets off the sensors and you don't see an employee around to say, hey, by the way, it's just my clothes. So then when you leave again, you think, oh God, it's gonna happen again, and they're certainly gonna think I stole something. My friend sucked for the first time today, and she said she cried in the toilet after because his cum tasted like ham and she's a vegetarian. All right. That is definitely something I didn't think I would ever read. Awesome. If you got a cucumber stuck in your ass, would you rather go to the doctor or just die with some shred of dignity? Get back out, bro. I mean, if it's a cucumber, it's not like you got a light bulb stuck up there. It's a cucumber. What do your shits look like, dude? All right, let's see. When Grandpa rushes your bedside for some late night excitement and your weak child frame can't fight him off, so you lay back and accept it. That's a little too accurate. Is everything okay at home, bud? I'm sure it was just a stupid joke, but it's not a funny joke. It's kind of gross and creepy, so I hope that it's just someone trying to be funny. I really hope that's what it is. Genuinely hope. If not, we gotta find this guy and kill his grandfather. I mean, Jesus. Sorority girls be like, oh my God, I'm such a crackhead, while talking on the phone with their friend on the Bluetooth speaker in their BMW while hitting their Juul, sipping their hydro flask, and wearing a $130 Lululemon shorts. Or sorry, not wearing shorts. Yeah, Bethany, try crack just once, please. I don't think we should be encouraging Bethany to try crack. I mean, it's not a natural step from Jules, okay? You might get Bethany killed. I'm just saying, Beans, maybe it's not a cool thing to do to someone. What's your most controversial video game hot take? The pursuit for photorealism in games is a fruitless endeavor that only results in bloated sizes that take too much space. Or, Doom Guy's a bottom. There are 2 kinds of people. If I could give any advice to my 8-year-old self, stop talking about how much you like owls all the time. You're about to get worthless owl things for every holiday until you're 20. Start talking about how much you like cold hard cash. How do I tell my boyfriend that I want him to scream at me in bed like he's Gordon Ramsay and I'm a little chef who just ruined a creme brulee? Huh. You could just tell him that, I don't think he's gonna think it's that weird. It's not like you're asking him to pee on you. Chihuahua owners will really just say things like, this is Princess Prissy Shits. She's 2 years old, has 17 rare diseases, tried to kill me with a small knife and vomits constantly. She's so cute. And you have to pretend like this little thing doesn't look like a fly with anencephaly and sounds like a broken Wii. I must say, that should also belong in brand new sentence. Never heard that one before. I don't often get sick, but when I do, I instantly become a frail Victorian child asking mother for permission to be carried into the garden to see the sun one last time before the consumption takes hold. That's how I felt after my booster shot, dude. Ordering a pizza in a snowstorm is such a move. Oh, the roads are too bad to drive, but let's see if this 17-year-old kid can make it in his 04 Kia. Look, big tip. That's all I can say. Even if you come from a place in the world where tipping's not customary, you order a pizza or something like that, and a teenager, or anybody for that matter, has to come drive it to your ass, huge tip. Huge. Me at age 16, after sitting in my drug dealer's room for 2 hours in complete silence while he makes beats because I'm not allowed to leave right away or his dad will know he sells drugs. Would the dad really know? I just came by to say hi. Bye. Each morning I put 1 uncooked ravioli in a thermos. I pour hot water over it, sipping it like tea, and then I drink it all day at work. I work at the White House, and at the end of the day, as I take the last sip of tea, the soft ravioli slides into my mouth and I eat it. Oh my god, that's the most psychopathic thing I've ever heard in my life. Please do not eat in the library. The ants will get in and learn to read and get too smart, and knowledge is power, but power corrupts, so they'll turn evil and take over the world. Dude, look, if all ants in the world suddenly rose up against us, we wouldn't stand a f***ing chance. What if he was one big-ass eye socket without an eye? And when women, they take the eye out right before you stick it in, but never show you it, because they know you're gonna freak out. What is wrong with you? Bet the Germans have a word for when you go to what? To stock up on treats for the weekend on a Wednesday, and then have to look at them for the rest of the week. You do have a lot of words. Your death metal garbage sounds like music to sacrifice goats to. Glad you like it. It's truly awful. Can you turn it down, please? You missed the point. If I turn it down, you'll hear the goat screaming. Ah, good point. Turn it up. You will die at an Arby's in Columbus, Ohio. What if I never go to Columbus, idiot? Where are centaurs' lungs and heart? Logic says in the peeply chest bit, but they wouldn't be big enough for an animal that size. And if they're in the horse bit, what's inside the peeply chest bit? Extra ammo. Stamp's foot. I do not want a gumbo recipe from the New York Times. I want a gumbo recipe from an old woman named Mama Thibodeau Landry who can bare-knuckle box an alligator while reciting the Holy Rosary in Cajun French. That is who you should be cooking the Cajun food from, alright? Ask one of them native boys. Or ladies. Generally, you want a grandma, because she spices that shit. Oh, so perfect. I've gone so many years without physical contact that at this point, I think someone tenderly holding my hand would kill me, like how a flavor-blasted goldfish would kill a medieval peasant. I wonder if it actually would kill a medieval peasant. I mean, I don't think it literally would, but I think they would have a heart attack from all that delicious flavor. I mean, imagine the most flavorful thing you've ever had is a piece of bread. Maybe chicken, you know? 1 year in here for $30 billion. You've got no books, movies, phones, consoles, anything. Can you do it? People are talking about this like it's a matter of keeping yourself entertained. Dude, you're gonna be seeing the Hat Man by day 8. Yeah, and I'll welcome him, man. $30 billion will keep me sane. Trust me. 6 desserts that are better than sex, but not as good as Hey Ya by Outkast. Huh. Wanted. Someone to climb into this hole in the library for us. Job requirements. Limber, trusting, has not read the cask of... Khloe Kardashian's hand looks like the hands of what I imagine lives under my bed and grabs my ankles in my sleep. Yikes, those nails are terrible. Me. This pizza's really good. Someone who visited Italy with their family for a week when they were 14. It's fine. Bro, I'm tired of people ever pretending they've had a bad pizza. I don't think so. Unless you literally got that pizza completely uncooked and started eating dough and shit, you didn't have a bad pizza. Oh, Little Caesars is the worst pizza in the... No, it's not. Shut the f*** up, you baby. It's fine. It's pizza, bro. When you get home from a long-ass day at work and your girl asks if you'd still love her if she was a lamp, I don't know, I think it's funny. Unless they use it as an excuse to get mad at you for no reason, in which case it's not funny anymore, but I don't know any girls that do that. Unironically, they should not be giving cops horses. Give those horses to postal workers so I can sit on my porch drinking iced tea and then a guy rides up on a horse and says, "Hey pal, got a letter for you here." The British are coming, man. Me in hell describing gaslighting and love bombing to a medieval peasant who was executed for stealing a spoonful of buckwheat in 1259. I'd watch that show any day. Huh. Thursday is the Luigi of weekdays. It's not as popular as Friday, but it's not evil like Monday or Tuesday. Wednesday is Toad. Okay. Wife. Ugh, here comes Brad from my work. Me. Which one's he again? The guy that says things and you can never tell if it's a compliment or an insult. Well, someone smells like muffin mix. Brad, that makes me uncomfortable. Alright, customer request. Crust a little crisper than normal, but not too crispy. If that's not vague enough, make it like you're taking revenge on a cheating boyfriend, but you still want to reconcile in the not-so-distant future. Also customer request. The gate's tricky, please don't break it, and the spider on the porch is called Frank. Be nice to Frank, he guards the tomatoes. Apparently some people go to bed and just sleep. They don't plot a 7-book epic fantasy series or softly broil in existential dread or replay every mistake they've ever made. And then they wake up refreshed? It sounds a bit fake, okay? Finding out someone's go-to OTC painkiller is so insane. Like, you're friends with someone for years and then you find out they come from a Tylenol family. Ibuprofen, the hottie. Lover, the gold standard. Tylenol, like, okay, I guess. Someone's mom is a nurse. Aleve, hardcore, possibly goth. This person has chronic pain, lots of respect to him. Aspirin, what's going on here? More questions than answers. Totally agree. That all makes sense. Although I'm not buying Aleve or Tylenol, I'm buying the generic version because it's the same shit for half the price. Come on! Wait, does Excedrin mean you're a bougie Twizzlers taste like as if someone was vaguely thinking of cherries whilst melting plastic bags into a pasta noodle press. Oh man, Twizzlers are terrible. Not sorry. Cool country you got there. Would be a shame if someone invented a website for ranking hot girls on campus and your mom used it to learn how to poison herself with horse paste. I hate the way the dominoes fall. See somebody on Twitter who's more successful than me. I gotta get off this website. Switches to Instagram and sees someone hotter than me. Man, f*** this app. Goes on Facebook and sees a guy I went to middle school with is in jail for murder. There we go. Pigs can't look up, but I could pick up a pig one night and raise it to the sky and tilt this pig ever so gentle. I can make sure this pig's eyes line up with the stars. Imagine seeing the stars for the first time. I want to be treated that kindly and see the stars for the first time. Vincent D'Onofrio? D'Onofrio? Him? Really? No way. Dog shelters. Don't buy puppies. Consider adoption instead. Also dog shelters. This is Piss Fingers. She's 19 years old and can't live in a home with children, books, or electricity. Piss Fingers is nervous around hair and needs 400 acres of land and an orchard of extinct fruits. I'd take in Piss Fingers. Cringer. Remember when Pizza Hut pan pizzas were basically a culinary delicacy? They'd bring them out in a real skillet that was piping hot at 700 degrees Fahrenheit, right as your third song kicked in on the jukebox after you played a game of Galaga. We were royalty. Couldn't you also get those for free through some kind of reading program too? Authorities cannot be more specific than this. Do not touch your partner's private parts while he or she is driving. Yeah, I don't think they could realistically get more specific. Children are so strange. I just had 7 young boys on my front porch demanding to see my cat. They had a leader. I opened the door and before I could greet them he said, "Where's your cat? I know he's in there. We see him in the windows and he's real fat." I don't know what to do here. Get the cat. What do you mean? Shapeshifting is the best superpower because you can have any haircut, anytime you want. You can turn into a hotter version of yourself. You can turn into a dragon, into a robot. You can turn into a shambling mound of abstract shapes and sulk outside your estranged father's house at night while chanting ominously about his sins. This took a weird turn, but I'm still on board. Some of you never had to manually upload your CD collection to your wonky laptop in order to populate your playlist so you could have your favorite music on your iPod, only to have the whole library wiped out because you ejected it improperly, so you smashed your iPod. And it shows. Man, I do remember having to import CDs into iTunes, dude. It was satisfying, gave you something to do for a little while. "I'm not like other girls," she said, golden skin shimmering in the summer sun, and she wasn't. She was a rotisserie chicken that I bought, took outside, and performed a small skit with in the parking lot before eating it in my car while sobbing loudly. You sound fun. I hate ordering from Starbucks. It's like, "Hi, can I get a mango bing bong iced sprinkled banjo drink with 2 shots of Hyundai Tucson, please?" It's almost as bad as going to IHOP. You have to say Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity as an adult human being. Tommy Lee Jones always looks like his son just told him he cooked a ribeye steak in an air fryer. You know, I can see that. Streaming music. Every song is on every platform. Streaming shows. Season 1 is on Netflix, 2 is on Hulu, except for the season finale, which is only available on HBO Max in Japan. It's turning into cable again, and I'm getting kind of pissed. The sun is probably the closest thing we'll ever have to a true eldritch abomination. Hear me out here. Older than recorded history, was here longer than any of us and will be here long after we're gone, has a finite beginning and end, but is still incomprehensibly ancient, burns itself into your vision instantly and can blind you if you look at it for too long. Further prolonged exposure can cause cancerous growths. Non-humanoid shape floating through space, colossal flaming tentacles angrily lash out on occasion. Sorta just appeared one day and is now surrounded by the corpses of its stillborn children. People use it to sacrifice other people to appease it. Pretty sure it screams at us sometimes. No, it's screaming all the time. We're just lucky that space has no way for sound to travel through it. Otherwise, we'd have that screaming sun from Rick and Morty 24/7. The fewer words a magic sword's name has, the more dangerous it is. You don't want to be on the wrong end of Dark King Grutmor's Edge of Annihilation. Don't get me wrong. But you for sure don't want to be on the wrong end of something called the Throngler. Oh, yeah, the shorter the name, the more legendary it really is. Look at Gandalf's sword. Glamdring. One word. You know what that means? Foe hammer. Or beater. I like foe hammer. Tea. Calming. Many flavors. The answer to all problems. Coffee. Anxiety juice. 3 heartbeats for the price of 1. More than 4 cups and you can talk to electricity. Ooh, I didn't know you could do that. Every woman's biggest nightmare is late marriage. Mine's sitting on a toilet and a hidden snake attacks my vagina, but okay. He drives the car like he's a retired teacher with 3 kids, and this is his side job because his 3rd son will marry soon, and he wants him to have a great wedding. Either you had a Wii growing up or your parents are still together. You only get one. I mean, I had a Wii growing up, but my mom was single until years after I left home. I think they still have the Wii, though. Therapist. So how depressed would you say you've been feeling lately? Me? I don't care anymore if my foot hangs over the bed where a monster can get it. Jesus, wow. Made on Earth by humans. Are we gonna send that one into space too? Where should you have sex once in your life? On the hood of your car, in the dead of night beside a railroad track while a long freight train flies by. The breeze on your feels amazing. So I've heard. Imagine someone asks you to cat sit. You come over, and it's just a goddamn femboy sitting there in cat ears gnawing at you. I'd get in so much trouble for f***ing their cat. Jesus Christ. Your fiancé gets kidnapped in a foreign country. You stay out till 2 a.m. searching with authorities, but eventually, you call it and return to your hotel. Do you still do your skincare routine, yes or no? Oh, that reminds me of the one relating to your wife being in the hospital. You have to drive there. On the way there, do you play some tunes, or do you drive in silence? When you laugh at a dumb meme and your partner who's not an internet person asks what's so funny, but it's like a tier 3 meme and you've got to explain about 7 years of internet for them to understand the nuances, you could do that. Or you could just think something's funny. You don't have to explain yourself all the time. Born in the wrong time. Too late to become a lighthouse operator who reads stacks of books and speaks to no one but the cat. No, you're not born in the wrong time. You can do so many things. If you just put your mind to it, you can do it, all right? I believe in you. You know what? I think we all believe in the lighthouse dream. How are unicorns fake, but giraffes are real? Like, what's more believable? A horse with a horn? Or a leopard moose camel with a 40-foot neck? Damn it, Kyle, you're right. How is it that a unicorn isn't real, but something like a narwhal is? I don't understand Earth. I don't understand the universe, and I don't like it here. Rich teens on TV are always talking about how rich they are, but I went to a private school with lots of rich teens, and they don't do that. They say something like, oh, we have a little place at the beach. And then you go, and it's a 20-bedroom mansion that Chef Boyardee used to own. You know, I appreciate the fact that you used Chef Boyardee of all the celebrities or rich people you could have chosen. Him? Gwyneth Paltrow looks like she's on trial in 1987 for hiring a hitman to kill her husband. This is a really great photograph. It's so good. It's all in the glasses and sweater, though. That's why. Those glasses and that sweater take us back nearly 40 years. God, she's weird, though. How much sawdust can you put into Rice Krispie treats before people notice? Why are you asking the question and not performing the experiment? Like, just get some sawdust and slowly increase the amount in your recipe every get-together until someone goes, why does this taste like that? And then they'll sue you for feeding them what's the word? Not potable, no, edible. They'll sue you for, never mind, it doesn't matter. This whole thing's already off the rails. Who's the worst person you've ever met? And why is it the boyfriend you had when you were 19? Look, if you knew me when I was 19, no, you didn't. We all make stupid decisions, okay? Whether that's a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or us just being dumb ourselves. I'm proud to identify as a morosexual. I'm attracted to dumbasses and dumbasses exclusively. A guy asked me what the Spanish word for tortilla was once, and now I dream of kissing him under the moonlight. This same idiot. What kind of animal is the Pink Panther? Me, already taking off my clothes? Benjamin, you're so freaking stupid. You know, I had a conversation with someone about this recently. Is there a term for being attracted to people that are stupid? Is that a thing? And you know what? Yes, it is. Thank you very much, Discourse Thought. You've really helped me out. Living well is the best revenge. The second best revenge is carefully removing plants from someone's garden and replacing their lawn gnomes with slightly larger lawn gnomes so they appear to be growing in size from eating the plants. I do have to wonder, with long cons like this, how long it would really take for the person to begin to notice this. right? Because if you move up incrementally, one day things are going to be so wildly different and they're going to realize, oh my God, did this happen overnight? They're not really going to notice the incremental change, which sucks, I'd say. They'll think you just came in and did it all overnight. Let's say, hypothetically, you get your stuck in a plastic Snapple bottle. How would you get it out if it's a Snapple bottle? I don't know, dude. I'm sorry. I like hanging out with guys because there's less drama. Translation. Whenever I spend time with my female friends, we always end up going on an unabridged reading of Hamlet, and I'm salty because they always make me play Polonius. Yeah, I never got around to Hamlet, so I don't know what that is. I don't know who that is. I'm sure a few of you out there do. Congrats. I'm actually kind of envious of your knowledge. But no, I don't know, dude. The main thing that puts me off of playing chess is that there's 2,000 years of gameplay that hundreds of people with higher IQs than me have spent thousands of hours studying the history of. So much so that when I put the pawn forward, they say, I see you're going for the Bulgarian somersault. And then I try to take their bishop with my knight and they go, rookie mistake, you've played the Frenchman's sock. And in approximately 37 moves, I'll have won. Yeah, there's something about chess that's not super beginner friendly in a lot of ways. I mean, it's an easy game. Very easy to learn, very easy to understand. It's the strategy of it that dumb people like myself will never be allowed to understand. My mom maintains that I was very good at chess as a kid, which is completely false. That is a lie. She might remember it differently than myself, but I was bad and I don't think I ever won a game. I was even in a club, dude. I was terrible, all right? Also, to the person who wrote this, maybe, just maybe, don't try playing Bobby Fischer when you want to start playing chess. There are over 7 billion people in the world. What's one thing you think nobody is doing right now? Sitting bound and gagged in my basement. Yep, absolutely no one doing that at this point in time. No, sir. Let me think about this for a second. Lying in bed, naked, with a 1996 NEC AccuSync 70 CRT monitor. There's gotta be no one, now or when this video comes out, will be doing that. And I swear to God, if anybody comes to my Twitter and says, I'm doing that right now, no, you're not, you're lying. My ability to dissociate has become too powerful. Now, I'm just watching the fall of America like, yeah, that's what happens to empires, while I look for dog hats on Amazon. We could have seen this coming a mile away. The moment Amazon really started to gain traction, we could have seen this coming a mile away, man. We've had Walmart for a while, sure, but Amazon was a different animal entirely, and still is. Ugh, I was hacked. Anything that was posted in the last month was not me. I don't smoke weed. I don't eat hot dogs, and I definitely don't eat my own cum. When I find the piece of shit that did this, and I will, they will pay the ultimate price. And then he proceeds to post a photo that, honest to God, looks like an AI generation of himself. Glenn, why do I recognize this name? Sorry, that just popped right into my head. This name sounds familiar. I don't know who this is, but I feel like I should, or I feel like I actually do, and I'm just dumb. Me, taking a piss in my own house like normal. My anxiety. What if someone slipped you a hallucinogenic drug and you're actually in Walmart right now, pissing in the middle of the store? We'll confront that problem when we come to it. Dude, honest to God, I don't even know if that's standard anxiety. I mean, I've got anxiety for sure. No cap. I hope I used that term correctly. I'm old. But I think about that stuff all the time. Oh, you're taking a dump right now? What if your bathroom has now actually somehow been transported into the middle of a Target and the walls are about to fall down, and oops, you're on candid camera taking a shit in front of 5 million people? This is something I think a lot of us share. Not that exact sentiment, but you know, what if? The what ifs are very fun. Not. Grimes has the energy of the coolest goth girl who works at Hot Topic, but she's secretly dating the regional manager who's 55, married, and Republican, and you're like, is it because he's rich? And she's like, no, I'm an anti-capitalist. But then you see her with a new Coach purse. Yeah, what a betrayal of trust and respect. Honest to God, I didn't even know who the hell they were before, well, you know. Had no idea, dude. German word of the day. I'm not gonna try to read that. A state of decay that results from having it too easy for too long, leading to you selfishly comparing your own petty grievances and mediocre accomplishments to the pain and struggle of people who know the meaning of real problems. Well, I can't say it's a familiar feeling. I do think I am experiencing a bit of a state of decay, though. I don't do anything anymore. And some would say that's living. Some would say I'm gonna waste away. I'm not 100% sure. At least I got video games. Single ladies of Reddit, why do you think the Union failed in the Battle of Fredericksburg in December of 1862 during Ambrose Burnside's invasion into Confederate-held Virginia? Okay, well, you can't ask this question and then not give us some of the super good answers. There's 2.3 thousand responses to this query. We need to know what the single ladies of Reddit thought about this engagement, okay? It's important for the history books. This asshole fish decided to crawl out of the water, and now we all have to deal with things like rent and foot fetishes. Wait, excuse me, what? The next distance we'll be firing from is 500 yards, the distance of your average restraining order. Adam, what did you do? Adam, don't shy away now. I believe that older writers like me have a duty to pass on the secrets and tricks of the trade that have served us. So, here's the magic you can use to generate character names that are unique. Step 1. Go to Starbucks. Order a coffee and a pastry or sandwich, any flavor. Step 2. Tip the barista $1 and wink. Step 3. When asked for your name, mutter anything through your mask. Silverware, Aardvark, Ramon, and then take your seat and wait. Step 4. When you're called to pick up your pastry, the new character name will be printed on the bag. It may bear a passing resemblance to what you muttered, or it may be an entirely new name. Never used in any culture. Step 5. This always works and you are welcome. Honestly, I don't go to Starbucks very often, but I might give this a try, even though I'm not a writer. Okay, I technically am, but you know what? No, I'm just going to try it. I'm going to try it. Universities pay staggering salaries to presidents, chancellors, VPs, and provosts by the dozens, etc. And in every administrative office, there's a 57-year-old woman named Peggy with a title like Admin Assistant 2, or the second, and that she's the person who actually runs the university. Can they raise lifeguard requirements? I'm sorry, I just don't trust a 19-year-old, 110-pound blonde named Mackenzie with the IQ of a McChicken to save my life. You know, it's funny that you say that, because that 19-year-old, 110-pound blonde named Mackenzie is probably a better swimmer now than you will ever be for the rest of your life, dude. A burglar breaks into my house in search of valuables. As he enters the living room, his eyes widen in horror as they fall upon a display case full of my middle school karate trophies. Suddenly, I appear behind him, hands on my yellow belt. Welcome to the dojo, bitch. Have we checked all food to see if exploding them makes them into something better, or did we just stop with corn? I would love to know how we discovered popcorn, because there's a reasonable story. There's a reasonable set of circumstances that could have led to it, right? I just want to know the story. Your girl will still ride in your car if she's mad at you, but she's just gonna turn her knees towards the door and look out the window the whole time like a f***ing Labrador. Jack Black is literally the only human that never needs any context for me. I could see him going anywhere and doing anything. Like if I got abducted by aliens and saw him just wandering around the spaceship, putting bugle chips on his fingers to make it look like he has claws, I'd be like, that's some classic Jack Black crap right there, and not even question it. Nobody in the world has been able to ascend to untouchable likableness in the same way Jack Black has. I mean, there are a lot of people out there that I've never met anybody who dislikes them, but Jack Black is probably the only person I've ever seen where people are so enthusiastically in love with that person, man. Did everyone have a PE teacher at school with a beard who wore a tracksuit all the time and taught geography on the side? No. Heck no. Parents at restaurant. Our son's 7th birthday is today. Group of 6 Adderall-addicted chain smokers who all have sex with each other and haven't slept in 24 hours stop rolling silverware and start clapping. You just inherited $100 billion. What ridiculous things are you spending the money on after all common sense and helping others spending is done? A butler, not an assistant, a middle-aged, slight man with a posh accent called Jeeves, who wears a tux with a frilly white shirt who calls me sir and hangs up my coat for me. I'd pay him a sick-ass wage and really integrate him into the family. And if I have disagreements with anyone, I'd get him to respond with a click of my fingers by telling them, sir doesn't respond to ruffians. The Chesapeake Bay is surprisingly shallow. A 6-foot-tall woman can wade through over 700,000 acres of the bay without wetting her hat. Well, that's interesting. Not gaslighting, it's just lying. Gaslighting just sounds cooler, so people have started using it. Gaslighting is lying that causes someone to question their own sanity. If you tell your mom that you've done your homework, that's just lying. If you tell your girlfriend that you have an average-sized cock and then replace all her measuring tapes with ones that are 50% regular-sized, that's gaslighting. Know the difference. I mean, goofy joke aside, that is true. We gotta stop using gaslighting for all lying and deception. They are right. Gaslighting does specifically refer to causing someone to question their own reality and sanity. You know, like someone finishes making a dish on the counter and you hide it as a joke. And then when they go, what the hell, where'd it go? You go, what do you mean? You didn't make any food. What are you talking about, dude? Are you okay? That's gaslighting, man. My favorite is people who send me unsolicited dick pics, and then they're like, Hi? Are you ignoring me? It's just so funny to me. Like 1 minute, I'm designing bioreactors and getting published for heat dissipation in polymers, and then I open this godforsaken app to dudes hanging brain who can't even pronounce saponification? Never mind. Calling me a slut because I won't give attention to their limp excuses for existence. 3 billion years of evolution, and the greatest form of communication you can conjure up in your fermented omelet of a conscience is submitting your wrinkly ballsack to a stranger on the internet to substitute the attention your parents never gave their mistake of an offspring. You're working with polymers? Are you from Atomic Heart or some shit? By age 30, you should have $3 in savings, $5,000 in credit card debt, existential dread, a favorite spoon, 1 half-dead plant you feel really bad about because your mom keeps asking for grandkids but you're not ready, and you thought this basil plant would be a good place to start. You ever pull your cardigan closed across your chest with crossed arms and suddenly feel like a sentimental widow stepping out into her beachfront porch at night, fondly remembering her past lover? That is an odd stereotype, isn't it? Countries where it is legal to hit a Swedish person with a stick if they walk to your country over ice. We don't really have specified this. Well, that's a weird way to put it. I'm surprised you can't legally hit a Swedish person in Finland. I thought you guys did that as well. Girl in sweats. I'm a girl, and I don't need expensive gifts to make me happy. I just want pizza. I love food. Sorry, I know I'm weird. Girls wear makeup, and I'm just in sweatpants and messy hair, like, OMG, right now girls are partying and I'm home with a good book getting stabbed. Okay? When you're absolutely terrified of butterflies, but you work for National Geographic and they need pictures of butterflies, you might be in the wrong business. Sometimes I say, huh? Then answer the question before the person even repeats themselves. I'm not deaf, my brain's just lagging like a 2005 Dell desktop. Your wife has been kidnapped and is being held in a location 30 minutes away. You're driving to rescue her. It's a warm night and your windows are down. Do you listen to music on the drive there? Yes or no? You know, the first time I saw this question, I did have a bit of an existential crisis because it's second nature to get in the car to wherever you're going and plop on some music. But I don't think it would feel very appropriate to go rescue my wife, family member, whatever while listening to Post Malone. You know what I'm saying? Something about that feels wrong. Cauliflower tastes like someone ate a dozen hard-boiled eggs, waited an hour, farted into dirt, then tended that fart dirt lovingly for 2 months until it grew into a fart flower, harvested it on the hottest, ripest day of the year, boiled it for 13 hours, and then tried to fool people into thinking it tastes like mashed potatoes. Well, number 1, you're wrong. Number 2, goddamn you're wrong. This is the future leftists want for our homes. Oh yeah, we've got an estrogen lab in the house now. Oh, and yeah, this house did come with a gay room. I think Timothy Chalamet and his sister look like super rich European kids who you'd run into at a fashion show and look simultaneously super confident and super nervous to ask you to join their weird high-end sex cult. I don't know anything about his sister, but the dude does give me strange vibes. He's definitely good at what he does. He just kind of freaks me out a little bit, you know? Is he a nepo baby? Is he a nepotism baby? Because I feel like he is. He just came out of nowhere, dude. Being an adult is inviting a friend over to cook dinner with, but then they cook with your salad onion instead of your cooking onion, and you want to shout, no, not my salad onion, use the cooking onion. But instead you just smile and say, we're having a great time. What is a salad onion? I gotta be straight with you, bro. I've never had a salad with onion in it. That doesn't feel correct at all. Don't text Samantha again. Who's this? Her boyfriend. Don't text her again. You don't want a problem with me. Bro, she's my coworker. I just need her to take my shift next week. I don't care. I'll make your life hard, kid. My bench is 315 and my deadlift is 405. I'm 6'3" and I used to wrestle too. I'll break your tiny arms. Why do I not believe for one solitary second that you can bench 315 or deadlift 405? No way, bro. Today feels like a good day to wander into a forest for 30 years, only to come back with antlers, a 1,000-yard stare, and the ability to speak to the earth. Folks who don't give you a recipe because it's a family secret are very odd. First of all, it's not like your family's living off these cinnamon rolls. And secondly, you've told me you cheated on your wife before, so is it clove or not, dude? My son has recently informed me that the wall people who always have their eyes open don't like us anymore. Just curious if anyone's free tonight to help me move. Why is it that in America, we're all like, scary, move out, and everywhere else it's like, yeah, that's Steve. He's a 1,000-year-old vengeful goblin spirit. Leave a hot dog in the woods on a full moon and he's quiet for the next year. Why can't we aspire to that kind of friendship? Well, maybe the goblin living in the walls should be a little bit more sensitive to how he comes off, okay? He scares the shit out of me. When you encounter others on a trail,
offer a friendly hello or a nod. This helps create a friendly atmosphere. If you approach a trail user from behind, announce yourself in a friendly, calming tone, yelling, "That chipmunk stole my car keys, run for your lives." That's not helpful, okay? Everyone wants to talk about gaslighting. Nobody wants to talk about how cats domesticated themselves and modeled their meows off of human baby cries to better manipulate our emotions. Again, I don't believe the human baby cry part. That I'm sure it's true to some extent, but I do not believe that cats just hung around babies and went, "Oh, I can do that." Like, what? What are the odds? The fact that a cat can walk into your house and be like, "I live here now," and most people just go buy food and litter for them and let them, is pretty impressive as an evolved trait. It's because they're the cutest objectively, all right? Dogs are cute, but they don't have the same level of cuteness as your average cat, okay? I had a dream I was able to time travel, and I went like 10, 20, 100, 1,000, 2,000 years into the future. But the instant I went to 4,000, I got stuck in a time dilation jail set up by the American government in the year 3877, in which anyone that tried to time travel back or forth across May 23rd, 3877 while on Earth would end up stuck in this time dilation chamber trap to stop the time travelers. But like, it was so crazy and mismanaged because it was legit capturing like every single time traveler ever. And the place had only been open for 12 minutes and was already getting overpopulated with nonstop multiple recursive instances of this one other guy trying to break previous versions of himself out of this goddamn time traveler jail. Where's the TVA when you need 'em, man? 2029. My TV starts flashing red with an alert because I lied on Amazon Prime about how many people are in my living room watching Trolls 5. They send 15 cops in riot gear and they kill my dog. I'm not allowed to shop at Whole Foods for 2 weeks. Why does that sound so real? Just ask her out, bro. The worst she can do is initially laugh thinking it's a joke before turning to a look of disgust when she realizes you're serious, rejecting you in such a way that you have crippling self-confidence issues for the rest of your life. What are you waiting for? Yeah, I'm just gonna put this out there. I know that when it comes to kids, this is usually like a kid's thing, you know? That's what they do, whatever. But if you as an adult do this, you are a piece of shit, okay? If someone asks you out, and I know there's a lot of extenuating circumstances and breaks to this rule, I get it. You know, if someone's been creepy and mean and rude, then yeah, tell them down, like fuck them up. But you know, you don't have to be rude and laugh and disgusted and stuff. That's just incredibly mean, says the guy who's been treated like that all his life. If you're laid up with your girl in a 41 to 135 degree room and she starts multiplying rapidly, that bitch is a foodborne pathogen. Stay woke. I mean, don't worry, piss money billionaire. I do intend to stay woketh. Damn girl, are you a kid's movie from my generation? Because you're fun and cute, but also horrifying in many ways I didn't originally realize. Oh yeah, let me, hold on. This movie's not from my generation. I mean, I guess it could technically be, but Pee-wee's Big Adventure? Oh my god. Rewatched that again recently, and I knew there were some very key points in that movie that were quite freaky. Like the clown surgeon horrifying bit in his dream, or Large Marge, you know? But the entire movie has a very strange, I guess, what would you call it? I guess just feeling, for lack of better terminology. That thing feels super weird. Not happy go fun time like Pee-wee's Playhouse, no. There is something that instills the fear within your body watching that movie. And I guess technically you could call it maybe not a kid's movie? I don't know. Speed limit 12.5. Oh, I can do you one better. I can absolutely do you one better. Oh, bam! Ha ha ha. 12.3 miles an hour. Let's see if you can one-up that one, internet. What do vegans eat after a heavy night out? Imagine being in a taxi home thinking, I can't wait to get home and demolish that cabbage. Yeah, that does sound uniquely unsatisfying. Of course, as a guy that eats meat, it's not like I'm in a taxi on my way home thinking, oh, I can't wait to eat that ground beef. I know what you're saying. I know. See, DJ Barney, you're not watching this video right now, but I want you to know that I get you. I understand you, okay? I'm not willfully ignorant to the joke you're trying to get across. Believe me. And to the rest of you out there watching, yeah, I am still sick. God dang it. Something's off about them, but you're not sure what it is. Starter pack. God, the two in the middle really freak me out. We should just move them closer together. Oh, that's better. Is between 20 and 30 and dresses like they're 65. Is sort of smiling all the time, but it's not an expression of happiness. Oh, those Velcro shoes. Something about it, man. Something about it. Then again, that is the point of this starter pack, is it not? You have to come to terms with the fact that realistically, in a post-apocalyptic world, there's a 99% chance you'll die from diarrhea after drinking bad water. And you'll never get a chance to wear football armor and make a machete out of duct tape and a lawnmower blade or whatever. You know, that is unfortunately true. Whether I get dysentery and crap myself to death, or tetanus, something bad is probably gonna happen. And I don't get to be a part of the fun part of the apocalypse. Someone I know accidentally added oregano to their coffee instead of cinnamon, and had to carefully scoop it out with a spoon. This person is a fool and a disgrace, and I have lost all respect for them. Was it you? It was someone I know very well. The details do not matter. It was you. How do I get one of those jobs that aren't real? Where I send an email and then go to a meeting and then draft an email and then leave work and get paid $98,000 a year and have a badge on a little cord that says Senior Deputy Analytics Coordinator Supervisor of Marketing and Sales. Yeah, I gotta say, Hollywood has really given us a strange impression of office jobs and what people who work them actually do. I guarantee you, though, you can get yourself far up enough the ladder to get this kind of job at some point, right? So what do? Nothing. And I get a raise? Hell yeah. People from states with nice roads may never understand what it's like hitting a pothole so hard that your soul leaves your body for a moment, and you feel an obligation to audibly apologize to your car. Yep, I don't think that states have nice roads, though. I don't think that's possible. I've never been to a city where at least half the roads aren't complete garbage, especially if it's a place where it will snow. You know, that's the worst part. But hey, I hit a pothole that destroyed my car's wheel recently. That sucked, girlfriend. Why do you bring me to the beach for every date? Me, desperately trying to get stung by a jellyfish so she'll piss on me. The ocean's just so romantic, I guess. Didn't that turn out to be a myth? You know what, at this point, why don't you just ask her to pee on you if that's what you want so bad? Think about it, dude. Just ask. What do you do if you know your girlfriend's hiring people to kill you, but have no solid proof other than connecting all the dots since October of 2022? That's a great question. Now, I wouldn't take my advice, because I don't have any real advice for you. But at this point, it couldn't hurt to confront her, not accuse, but confront her with these dots you've connected and say, hey, I know we're going through a rough patch, but you don't have to kill me. We can just break up. That's okay. Piracy lore is crazy because there's like only 3 people that know how to crack de nouveau DRM, and one of them's a turbo transphobe that speaks like a JRPG villain, and her rival is a trans girl that goes by the alias of Fit Girl. The third person only cracks football games. I need to learn more about this world. What the hell's going on? Okay, Tom Holland is cute and all, but he constantly looks like he's hiding a frog in his mouth, and it's uncomfortably hopping around in there. But he can't open his mouth or the frog's gonna escape. I mean, I wouldn't say a frog jumping around in his mouth. It looks like he might just be holding some water in there, and that's about it, at most. Also, I'm not gonna sit here and comment on how Tom Holland is or isn't cute, or how goofy he holds his face or whatever, because I know damn well I'm not in the same league as that dude. So I'm not gonna sit here with my ugly-ass body and face talking about Tom Holland and his mouth frog. If a woman stole semen and impregnated themselves with it, would that be considered child kidnapping, and could they go to jail for it? I'm pretty sure that's quite illegal to do. Stealing of someone's bodily fluids without permission so that you can use it to impregnate yourself? I don't know. Sounds like a crime you could go to jail for to me. Every foundation that matches my natural skin color is called something like porcelain, ultra fair, ghostly young boy, he is very sick, look at his skin, he's so sick. Corpse of a woman from 1800s who died from being too pale. Yes, us white folk have to deal with the darndest things, don't we? Brain tastes like ice cream. Oh, strawberry ice cream or vanilla. Kinda like peach ice cream, but a bit more jelly and saltier. Hey, wait a minute! Whose brain have you been eating? Who you been munching on? Can't believe zombies are allowed to post on Reddit again. This is getting out of hand. If you got the top of a mountain after 2 days of rain and lost your food along the way, and you peek your head over the top and someone punches you in the face, what's your reaction? What? Dude, I don't care about the setup. If someone punches me in the face, my reaction's gonna be, ow, why the hell did you do that? Excuse me? Something I learned from trail hiking is if you're ever lost in the woods, do not panic. Do not go off trail. Just loudly and clearly say, Elon Musk is not a genius, and several of the most unscrewable men alive will appear out of nowhere to call you poor. Then you can follow them to the parking lot, where their Tesla exploded. Then you can make your escape, right? Or you can just say, oh no, a bunch of times and... Well, actually, I think you need a wall for that, so the Kool-Aid Man's not going to be jumping through the woods. Sorry, what? Provided for your convenience by the Portobello Public Pencil Sharpening Project. The what? Does my city have a pencil sharpening project? Because that's great. That's very useful. We all carry our pencil, right? Sex is cool, but have you ever made a joke at a dinner party that bombed and you felt bad, but then the host of the party pulled you aside later and said it wasn't your fault the joke bombed? It's just that Kate's brother died in a skiing accident, so skiing jokes are off bounds. Nick, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry they didn't tell you that, but at least you know now, so that's good. That's good. Not your fault, though. Worm eats dirt. Bird eats worm. Man eat bird. Notice that at each level of the food chain, about 90% of the energy is lost in the form of heat. We cut out the middlemen. Join me, eating dirt to become a being of pure energy. Eating dirt? Dude, I already ate plenty of fast food. That's worse. Oh, so I guess I would be doing myself a favor if I started eating dirt, huh? Love reading about men in history like, unfortunately, he never found a wife. His elaborate scarf collection sold for $1.2 million in 2011. He and his closest male friend, Chauncey, with whom he shared a bed, died within weeks of one another. They were known for their dinner parties, and the fact that they were the best of buddies. You'll grow up not ever really knowing if you deserve love, but one day you'll meet someone who loves you, and you'll be able to accept yourself. Then, once they really get to know you, they'll find you unbearable and leave. But the important thing is to stay hydrated. Frankie, thank you so much. I really appreciate you giving me existential horror. If you found a body floating in a river or lake, would you call the police? Who the hell else you gonna call? Ghostbusters? No, you found a dead body. Why don't you call law enforcement? They'll at least get a guy to come get the body out. Y'all ever just take a cold shower in the dark on all fours and groan pleasurably, pretending you're a wet rhino in the African savannah during the first rain in years? I feel like I've done something similar in my life, but not specifically a wet rhino on the African savannah during the first rain in years. No, I can't really relate to that part. My dream is to live in a secret room with a large corporate building complex. No one would know it's there, and I would siphon off water and electricity. I could scurry about at night when everyone else goes home, and sleep during the day. I would become a rat. You'd become Rat Man. Seems like a pretty good job, though. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm a little too loud. 7 deadly sins. Being horny online. Not tipping delivery drivers. Vaping. Being mean to animals. Eating with your mouth open. Football. Using Miracle Whip instead of mayo, and convincing your kids it's the same thing for 16 years. When it's not the same thing, Mom! That is true. That is true. I don't know anybody who actually uses Miracle Whip at all. I ate it as a kid, thought, okay. But as an adult, I have not met a single other person that uses it for anything at all. We all graduated to mayo, and we'll never go back. See somebody on Twitter who's more successful than me. I gotta get off this website. Switches to Instagram and sees someone hotter than me. And screw this app. Goes on Facebook and sees a guy I went to middle school with who's in jail for murder. Oh, there we go. Oh, thank goodness. I was getting worried. I was getting so scared for a moment. Valorant. Okay. I need help. Look, Edith told Alex she won't date anyone below 6 foot. Her ex was 6'1", alright? You're 6 foot. Next time you will her, casually mention you're 6'1", bro. Then I send Nicholas to talk to her. He's 5'11", but he tells her he's 6 foot casually. She gets used to the idea of what 6 foot looks like. Then I send Charles to meet her. She already thinks 5'11" is 6, so she won't be able to differentiate between 5'11" and 5'10". Charlie tells her he's 6 foot. She gets used to 5'10", and then I go in and she can't know much difference between 5'10" and 5'9". I come off as a strong 6, bro. I've talked to Nicholas and Charles already. You just send her a message. Motherfucker, what? Oh, damn. That's the most elaborate plan I've ever heard. Maybe you should just find somebody who's not that shallow, you know? Yeah, just come on. I am a Christian mother against sexy Shadow the Hedgehog fan art. Thank goodness I ain't a Christian mom because I'm not against sexy Shadow the Hedgehog fan art. Go on ahead and shoot it my way. Broke bitch like you living on level 53 of apartment block D12 in subsector 7. Thinks they can to tell me that I need to hustle more. I bet you've never even seen above the perimeter walls shielding the remnants of humanity from the horrors of the wasteland. Oh, you just didn't know how to execute the joke properly by knowing how to type. I would like to draw you. That's very kind of you. As an AI language model, I don't have a physical appearance to be drawn. However, I appreciate the sentiment and am glad to be of help to you. You could just say random attributes like gender, color, and some details. Nothing serious, just something fun. Okay? Sure, that sounds like fun. You can imagine me as a non-binary entity with a shimmering iridescent appearance that shifts in color depending on my mood. My hair is made of delicate strands of light, and my eyes sparkle with a playful intelligence. I'm always wearing a pair of purple glasses that are perched on the bridge of my nose, and my favorite accessory is a small silver moon pendant that hangs from a delicate chain around my neck. I never would have pegged ChatGPT to... Oh God, I'm trying to think of what to say next. That's not where the thought ends. I promise that's not where the thought ends. Jesus. I never thought ChatGPT would have such a cool, edgy Tumblr sona. Watch for flying saucers and skanks. I approve this message. Or should I say, we here at EmKay approve this message. I wonder if testicles can be twisted off. You know, like fruits from a tree branch. Technically, balls sort of behave like fruits, dangles off a branch and have skin that needs to be peeled off in order to be eaten, and also have seeds inside. Millions of seeds. We could probably classify the male genitalia as a fruit. I mean, the similarities just keep on going. I'm pretty sure anything can be twisted off of the human body. Anything, if you really put your mind to it. And hey, be careful out there. You don't want to get testicular torsion because you let your hot GF try some stuff. Women be doing messed up crap in video games, man. Like evil ass shit. Like Sims 4 eugenics and Animal Crossing housing discrimination. I know what the hell is in your soul. I saw you create a ghetto in Animal Crossing. She had the face of an angel and a personality like the sound of an ironing board being unfolded. Yeah, that's not good. In tonight's edition of Very Specific Kinds of People I Can't Freaking Stand, men who drive gigantic shiny pickups that they obviously just have as ego boosters, who tailgate you on an empty stretch of freeway at night, and they've replaced their headlights with military-grade 500 proton scatter billion lumen searchlights that they utterly blind you with while honking for you to get out of your lane because they desperately have to go a full 40 miles over the speed limit or their dick will just jump clean off and their balls will be hurled out the window in shame. That's at least 60% of the people in Colorado. I just asked out my crush, and he freaking drop-kicked me and spit on my shoes before stabbing me 48 times in the abdomen. This is what this sub is for. Virgins of Reddit, how do you protect yourselves against cultists constantly trying to steal your blood for rituals? That's a good question, yeah. Virgins would have to really be on the lookout for that sort of thing. The best part of starting a new job is all 4 of your grandparents are alive again. What? She's a 10, but she tells you to act like a dog and refuses to listen when you try to explain to her that you do not act like a dog and she needs to stop comparing you to her dog. Man. Hello? A woman feels a tug on her pants at the club and looks down to see me. A man a mere half a foot tall drinking Tinnenken? A beer made for mini men. Have you heard of Bruce Sprinky? He's like Springsteen, but for little guys like me. She palm strikes my nose into my brain. Gen Z will drink 1 medium caramel latte, not eat a single thing till 4 p.m., verbally abuse a racist, crack a joke about their mental health, and pick up a tear gas canister with their bare hands, but get nervous when they have to call to make a doctor's appointment. Look, they got their priorities in check. Want to know why I hate vapors? You smell donuts or cotton candy and turn a corner thinking, I'm gonna treat myself to something tasty. But no, it's just Brad and his cloud of lies. Your last text is the title for Avengers 4. What's it now called? You can't keep them away from me forever, Janet. They're my children too. You'll never read a more beautiful social media post in your life. Today, I operated on a little girl. She needed O blood, or O negative blood, excuse me. We didn't have any, but her twin brother has O negative blood. I explained to him that it was a matter of life and death. He sat quietly for a moment and then said goodbye to his parents. I didn't think anything of it until after we took his blood and he asked, "So when will I die?" He thought he was giving his life for hers. Thankfully, they both died. Doctors are warning women not to put wasp nests near their vaginas. What the hell happened here? Why do doctors need to warn anybody about anything like that? That's my main question. That's gonna be the question I ask until I die now. Me thinks boyfriend is mad because he's being very quiet. What you thinking about? Him, about how bike tires are made. Ladies, we gotta stop worrying what boys are thinking because 9 times out of 10, it's dumb shit like this. Be thankful. Just be thankful. By age 25, you should have a failed YouTube career. Done. A foreign film you watched accidentally yet always recommend. Done. An unfinished 12-chapter fanfiction. Not done. An unfounded hatred of TikTok. All right. Had enough. Well, I did have all of this by 25. I'm 27 now, but I definitely still had all of this. Except for the fanfiction thing. I'm not a good writer. My biggest fear is slipping in the shower and dying. Then I'm laying there all frickin' dead and the water goes cold and I'm still there like a prune and the cold water makes my dick shrink up and my dad walks in and goes, "Oh my god, my tiny wrinkled penis son is dead." Question for cockwanters. What would you do if you went on a date with this guy who's like the absolute perfect 10? Whatever that is to you. Looks, personality, whatever makes a 10. And you're back at his place. You go to suck his dick, but he's like, "Wait just a minute, I've got to prepare real quick." And he opens a tube of Pringles and starts meticulously crushing them into powder in his hands, looking more and more horny as he does, as he sprinkles it on his dick, which is now encrusted with Pringle crumbs. Then he gets out a marker and draws a mustache on himself, like the one on the mascot. And you can tell he's done this many times. He doesn't even need a mirror. And he's like, "Okay, I'm ready now." And he's not mentioned this Pringles fetish at all. It's totally out of the blue. Would you still do it? I don't know, it's weird, but it seems harmless enough to me. The dude just really likes crushing Pringles and putting them on his penis. There's definitely weirder, okay? How about instead of electric, they make a car that you can screw the hell out of and it jiggles too? You coward, you deleted that? You farted in Kroger yesterday. You were the tall brunette with the near-perfect body that farted in the bread section last night. I was the tall guy next to you that looked over and asked, "Was that you?" You quickly replied, "No, it wasn't me." You almost seemed insulted, I would ask. As the stink grew, you continued to deny your flatulence, but it was evident. I tried to get rid of the stench by waving 2 loaves of ciabatta bread. You proceeded to storm off in an angry manner. You are beautiful, even if you are a liar and fart like a Clydesdale. I'd love to meet up. I went to Burning Man with the Naked Cowboy for a week. And then I licked a psychoactive toad with cryptocurrency's Bad Boy in an isolated Amazonian village. Then I took 4 members of that village to some of London's most unhinged raves. Oh, and also, here's our underpaid intern talking to a Polish warlord who's also a trance DJ. Here's what I've learned. No wonder they filed for bankruptcy. Women shouldn't say bad words. Retweet if you agree. Hello, Nick. I'm a reporter with whoever in Boise. I'm doing a story on men that have never pleasured a woman sexually. May I use your tweets? I think you can just use them. It doesn't matter. When you pick up a hitchhiker and he says, "How do I know I'm not a serial killer?" And you say, "The chances of 2 serial killers being in the same car are astronomical." You gonna die. Rory Culkin looks like he walked in on 2 biblically accurate angels raw dogging the crap out of each other. I like how you had to add raw dogging the hell out of each other, like 2 biblically accurate angels wouldn't be enough. As if that's not enough, you had to be the person to add, "and they f***ing," to make it a little funnier, I guess? Is it common for guys who practice martial arts, stuff like jujitsu, to grow a boner while wrestling with a woman? Dude, I don't know. Oh no, you like women? Crazy. Whatever.
McDonald's replied to your review. Waited for 45 minutes, not a single employee came and washed my hands. What the heck is the employees must wash hands sign there for? Interesting. I feel like I've seen that more times than I can physically count. Men invented arm wrestling so they could hold hands with each other and look in each other's eyes. That's not really specific, it's just true. I'm sad we never got an extremely mid-Telltale Breaking Bad game with 2013 Xbox 360-ass graphics, looking Jesse and Walt, and UI that looks like a grungy periodic table. Sorry, I'm envisioning this. When you're a 14-month-old French infant in a military hospital in the late 18th century and that weird hungry guy comes into your room. Can't stop thinking about this post. I don't think any "that face you make when" type posts has prompted over 20 minutes of research in me before. I'm not doing it. You can if you want. I want to name my daughter Mayonnaise and shorten it to May. May isn't short for anything, so no one will ever ask her what her full name is, but she'll constantly live with the knowledge that she's named after a condiment. Child abuse. Every heartwarming human interest story in America is like, he raised $20,000 to keep 200 orphans from being crushed in the orphan crushing machine. And then we never ask why an orphan crushing machine exists or why you'd need to pay to prevent it from being used. POV, you're a girl in the South with no goals. You meet a guy with snakeskin boots and a hooey hat. He drives a Duramax with 14% interest. You're contemplating on applying for that job that requires you to wear scrubs. You get the job. He refinances his Duramax so you can afford a nice trailer and on 10 acres. Woo! You get a purebred dog that you name after a gun company. One of you cheats, the other's abusive, but you both love each other, so you try for a kid. Life is good. If I drop my hammer on a job site and it falls 30 feet onto someone's head, is that involuntary manslaughter, or would OSHA step in and protect me because he didn't wear a hard hat? Huh. Ask your lawyer. Average juicer doesn't know what it's like to struggle. They're sitting in their college dorm playing Overwatch or League, yelling into a microphone, procrastinating instead of doing their calculus homework. Parents pay for everything, of course. Never landed a job, nor do they want one unless it involves doing nothing at a computer. Not in any clubs, only hobby is gaming. Addicted to anime, socially incompetent. 4 years pass by and they realize they wasted college and never made any friends. Sounds a bit like an autobiography. Pancake mix is too thick. Adds water. Pancake mix is too runny. Adds mix. Pancake mix is too thick. Adds water. Feeds family 120 pancakes. I fail to see the problem. Sex is cool, but have you ever made a joke at a dinner party that bombed and you felt bad, but then the host of the party pulled you aside and said it wasn't your fault the joke bombed? It's just that Kate's brother died in a skiing accident, so skiing jokes are off bounds. Imagine you die and your body's donated to science, but somebody screwed up and you're actually just in a coma and you wake up to a group of scientists laughing at your penis. I don't know who told you that. I don't know. Did Zach tell you that? Did he tell you about that? Does anyone else feel like they're a lazy perfectionist with ADHD and chronic fatigue who's pretty chill, besides the occasional panic attack, and loves their friends but hates people? Yeah. Which one of these pills are we going to take? Pee goes directly into the toilet without needing to get up. Luck increased by 20%. It's a little generic. Invisible to women. Own the house from Beetlejuice. Unlimited arrows. So I see that Legolas took the arrow pill. I clearly took the middle pill at one point in my life, although I would honestly like the first pill. I'm proud to identify as morosexual. I'm attracted to dumbasses and dumbasses exclusively. A guy asked me what the Spanish word for tortilla was once, and now I dream of kissing him under the moonlight. This same idiot. What kind of animal is the Pink Panther? Me already taking my clothes off? Benjamin, you're so stupid. When you were 11, did you handwrite 3 chapters of the first book of a planned trilogy and then completely forget about it until you discovered the Notebook as an adult and were horrified, or were you normal? I guess I was normal. The boring presentation I made, the funny and cool kid I got paired with improvising jokes, making my presentation less boring and getting us an A, me trying to hide my boner. Still don't know why they had The Rock there for that. Sure. Oh, it's Drew. Dude, you gotta watch this show. The first 5 seasons are friggin' terrible, and every episode is 9 hours long, but season 7 is decent, and season 12 literally made me laugh. You can only watch it on Prime Video, and every episode costs $4. Gen Z will never understand growing up with parents who basically poured a gallon of milk into your body with a funnel every day, because Big Milk told them if we didn't drink enough, our bones would go soft and we'd turn into pudding people and get kidnapped at the mall. I remember some of that. You have 30 minutes to hide a USB drive in your house. Your house will then be raided by the police, detectives, and some FBI agents all searching for the USB drive. Where do you hide it so it won't be found? I can only imagine that right now, somewhere in the world, there's a group of FBI agents raiding a house, sweating, not being able to find a specific USB. Their boss is on their ass, and their last hope is to consult the all-knowing members of the Ask Reddit community. And I'm sure they got their answer, though. I'm going to put it in my nose. I have a feeling these aren't real scholarships. Use your personal email address so you can continue to receive scholarship decisions even after you graduate? What? As you age, it's ridiculous how fast bird watching creeps up on you. You spend your whole life being 100% indifferent to birds, and then one day you're like, damn, that's a yellow-rumped warbler. 1 year in here for $30 billion. You have no books, movies, phones, consoles, nothing. Can you do it? Okay, this is probably gonna sound psychopathic, but listen to me. You got food, right? I just find something really boring, laborious, and time-consuming to do with my food. Like, if it's a protein bar, I'd smash it into really tiny bits and count them very slowly while eating. Ain't even in the room and you've already lost it. Yeah? I mean, you gotta remember, you're not gonna be alone in there for very long. Isolation is torture. If you woke up tomorrow morning a billionaire, what's the most extravagantly lavish thing you'd waste some money on?
I'd go to generic restaurants, give my waiter or waitress $100 to send a glass of milk with ice in it to a specific table. The $100 would be kept quiet about who sent the milk, or rather, to keep them quiet. I would do this several more times to the same table until they got visibly upset. No waiter in the world would stop sending ice milks, especially after I raised the offer to $500. If I were a waiter, I would gladly keep putting glasses of milk with ice in it on someone's table, even if they were screaming in my face if I made $500 each time. So yeah, I would do ice milk, instant classic. Most homophobes are secretly gay. However, most arachnophobes are not secretly spiders. You sure? Okay, serious question. What's this for? This is for my mom to dramatically grab onto when I'm going 26 and a 25. Or when you stop the car literally every time. Who does Rihanna make music for? She makes music for girls who cheat on their man like crazy but want to fight the chick at the drive-thru for being a little too nice to the man she's cheating on. Okay. Occasionally I'll get a sudden powerful urge to grab a pigeon off the street and shove it in my bag. But apart from that, everything's fine. I think you're doing okay then. Why are math teachers never sick and English teachers are always pregnant? Was it the English teachers? But yeah, you're right, math teachers never miss anything. The boredom of self-isolation. Did you know that if you rest a naked testicle on top of an open beer bottle and hold a naked flame underneath the bottle, the testicle will be sucked into the bottle? If you do know this, how do you get it out? Waiting for the answer, please hurry. Shapeshifting is the best superpower because you can have any haircut anytime you want. You can turn into a hotter version of yourself. You can turn into a dragon. You can turn into a robot. You can turn into a shambling mound of abstract shapes and sulk outside your estranged father's house at night while chanting ominously about his sins. This took a weird turn, but I'm still on board. Sable, what? I need to tell you something really important. What's up? Okay, so this may sound like I'm messing with you, but I promise I'm not. I was recently diagnosed with a terminal disease called... I'm not gonna try and read that. Basically, if I don't get enough blood flow to my ears, they'll slowly freeze and will fall off. Then it will spread to my inner ear and brain. There's no cure for it except one. I need you to constantly warm my ears, and the only material soft enough is the inner thighs of a pretty girl, so I need you to sit on my face for medical reasons. Boy! Also, like 10 to 15 years from now, I hope someone makes one of those inspirational sports movies, except it's a 50-year-old woman who wants to play competitive online games, and everyone tells her she can't because she's too old, her reflexes are too slow, etc., and she gets this grizzled trainer, except they're a 19-year-old kid who had a promising career until carpal tunnel syndrome ruined their chances of becoming the world champion. So they train her and she wins. The end. Movie of the year. Therapist. It's called a Rorschach test. God, wow. Look at the ink blots and tell me what you see. Me, a butterfly, and this, a butterfly, and this, a butterfly. So, you want to butterflies. I do. Life is like soccer, because my mom signed me up for it and expects me to try my best even though I freaking hate soccer. Imagine you're a middle-aged mom and you let your teenager invite some friends over and you bring them like lemonade and cookies and crap, and 10 years later you find out one of those kids joined a band and wrote a top 100 song about how you were his puberty-fueled teenage sex dream, and you have to spend the early 2000s listening to it play on overhead speakers every time you visit the mall, all because you tried to let your teenage daughter Stacy have a social life. It's time for another round of situations I would bet my life I'm the only one it's happened to. So, I filled up a latex glove with water, right? And I'm listening to music with headphones, and I'm sucking on the thumb of the glove because I can. And the thumb bursts, but only the part in my mouth. So it's starting to leak into my mouth, and I have headphones on, looped around so I can take them off. And if I open my mouth, the water will spill out everywhere. So I have to pick up my phone, hold the glove above my head with the other hand, or with the other, keep my head tilted up, and walk slowly to the sink to let it spill out without anyone else noticing. Honestly, I half expected this to be some fanfiction Final Destination death. With the way it was set up, I was prepared for it. Pigs can't look up. But I could pick a pig up one night and raise it into the sky and tilt this pig ever so gentle. I can make sure this pig's eyes line up with the stars. Imagine seeing the stars for the first time. I want to be treated that kindly and see the stars for the first time. Is Vincent D'Onofrio okay? Also, did he actually tweet this? Because if so, he's even cooler than I thought. The sketchy guy at your rich friend's party starter pack. Whoa! When I was asked to pick a place to eat for my birthday, I picked a vegan restaurant. My mom said, why don't you pick a place where everyone can get something to eat? Ha 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 ha, the number of fucking steakhouses I've had to eat french fries at. And salad. Wait, I'm sorry, I can't read. It doesn't matter. Can they not eat vegan food? Like, not at all? My stepdad can't. He acts like if he doesn't eat meat with every meal, a clown will steal his penis. What the fuck? Laptop overheating?
Pour water on it to cool it down. I trusted you. Do not trust people like me. I will take you to museums and parks and monuments and kiss you in every beautiful place so that you can never go back to them without tasting me like blood in your mouth. I will destroy you in the most beautiful way possible. And when I leave, you will finally understand why storms are named after people. Wow. There's probably at least one white guy adopted and raised in China who speaks English with a Chinese accent and strangers assume he's a total asshole. Statistically, probably. Girls get nicknames because of affection in terms of endearment. Guys get nicknames because they took French onion soup to a Super Bowl party one time. Yeah, man. It's crazy that they only figured out tectonic plates in the 60s. A child in the 50s would say, "It seems like South America and Africa would fit together," and his mom would go, "That's cute, honey. Would you like a cigarette?" Guide for teens. Tell the cops nothing. Tell the paramedics everything. Your eyebrows are fine. I don't know if I'm reading a synopsis for this movie or an ad by an estate agent. This is for only child of a doctor couple is murdered in her sleep inside their large 1,300 square foot duplex apartment with excellent ventilation, plenty of natural light, multiple entrances, yeah, what the hell? I went to Thailand and stroked a heavily sedated tiger and it was a life-changing experience bottoms. Co-worker relationships are crazy because we don't hang out or talk outside of work, but I know you tried to poison your husband once. You keep that to yourself, huh? A 1950s magazine ad shows a tip on how to dispose of batteries. Burn old flashlight batteries in the fireplace now and then. The burning zinc may help prevent soot formation, and the metals and chemicals make colorful flames. Wow, it was a different time for so many bad reasons. American badgers look like they're about to drag you into a back alley and pull a shiv on you to demand money for their meth habit. European badgers look like they're about to invite you over for a cup of tea and some custard creams at their little cottage in the countryside. All I know is they don't give a either way. Gotta respect the longevity of Microsoft Word. Nothing about it works and it's still the standard. Want to move an image? Go to hell. Edit a PDF? Edit your expectations. Ignore a spelling mistake? How about suck my dick? That'll be $150. As a kid, I thought sleepovers were wild because we played video games for 10 hours. Then I heard about girls' sleepovers, and they're wild, man. They gossip and eat 40 pounds of food and take blood oaths and host fight night and sacrifice the weakest member to the goddess of the moon. Like, what the fuck? Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Hypothetically, if you were in a relationship for 6 months, 15 days, 4 hours, and 17 seconds, only to discover she's your biological sister, would you still continue to date her?